All right, welcome back, folks. Gfinity final day, Spring Masters #1, live from London, England. Again, as always, I'm joined by Duncan and Richard.
Yo.
Last semifinal, Envyus versus Cloud9. Got our vetoes a little early during the break, which is great. Let's get right into it. Cobblestone, choice by Envyus. Cash, the choice by Cloud9. And Overpass is our decider map. Just so we have kind of the history of the vetoes. Cloud9 got rid of, Cloud9 got rid of Inferno and Mirage. And Envyus got rid of Nuke and Dust 2. And one thing I was looking at my notes a little bit, Cobblestone has been played twice by Cloud9. Kind of, and none by Envyus. They won both those matches. And Cash, 1-1 for Cloud9. They lost to Orbit, they beat Orbit, and Envyus has only played it once, and they 16-0'd property.
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen Overpass fight anyone yet this weekend.
Yeah, very unusual map draws from both sides here. Because, Envy picking Cobblestone, not even just leaving it as the third map, like, oh, we don't mind playing it, going directly for it, which suggests they've practiced it, they've got some ideas on it, or they saw the Cloud9 games before, and they think they've seen something there, because, okay, they played it at ESL 1 Katowice, they beat Titan on it 16-14 narrowly in the group stage, but aside from that, I don't really think of it as like a strong map for them. I think it could be here, but that's an unusual pick, because Cloud9 did look good on it.
And I don't think Na'Vi plays it, but they 16-3'd Na'Vi as well.
In the round of eight.
I think Hastra actually alluded to this last night when we were talking to him. He said, we're going to do something a bit unconventional tomorrow. You'll see, this is like a gamble. And reading between the lines, I'm going to presume it applies to this veto, or it could be something else. Maybe they're talking about Shox's hair color. I don't know. But I think what they've done here is they're almost envious, kind of gambling on the fact that they are just like a better team indefinitely, and therefore because of that they'll be able to do maps that maybe they wouldn't pick against somebody who they believe it's going to be truly competitive with. I wonder if that is the gamble here, because as you rightly say, these aren't maps that they're particularly known for or well established on, and we haven't seen a lot of them at this tournament in general, especially Overpass, which I think is quite a bit of a curveball right in the end. That said, overall feelings about the veto, I think Cobble will be very good for Envyus. I think no doubt they will have some like default strats that they'll be able to pull out on there. And Cash, I don't know why Cloud9 have picked that, because they laboured to a loss against Orbit, then they got a victory, but they were playing a very different Orbit at that point. Cloud9 seemed to step up and really pull something out of the bag. But I wouldn't say it's like a comfort pick, like it's a go-to map for them. They didn't show me anything tactically where I thought, wow, Cloud9 can be really a dominant force on this map.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually think looking at the vetoes, listen, I think Envy's a much better team than Cloud9, so it would be hard to get a good veto set. But seeing who vetoed what, I actually think Cloud9 have missed a trick. Because I don't think Cloud9 particularly want to play Overpass. They don't play it much in general. They have a little bit recently, but not so much historically. But where they've missed a trick is that they banned Overpass, and they didn't ban... No, the other way around. They banned Mirage.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the recent trend, Envy does not play Mirage. They don't want to play it. I was even having a discussion with them yesterday, and I was saying, actually, you should practice that map. You should try and play it against the lower teams. Therefore, they won't be able to do exactly what I'm talking about now. Yeah. Avoid banning it. Because if you avoid banning it and you'd banned out Overpass or something like that, I think Envy would have done you a favor and banned Mirage. You would have got your ban there, but also got another map out. And that would have left open the map that Envy would have played instead. They wouldn't have used their ban on Dust 2. And so you could have got to Dust 2, which is a decent map for Cloud9. It's a phenomenal map for Envy, but they banned it themselves. They don't want to play it. So I think that's an area in the pick ban where I could have seen a little edge or some more advantage could have gone over to the Cloud9 way. As it is right now, the way it is at the moment, I mean, I look at it, I think it has to be a 2-0 for Envy. I think they're going to win Cobblestone. I think they're definitely going to win Cash. I don't think it even gets to Overpass, so I don't think it matters. And on all three maps, I'd still say Envy's the best.
And as you see on the screen, before, Richard, I want you to jump in with your points, but we've got a little poll going, so we want you to obviously tweet Gfinity with a hashtag NVWin or C9win. Also throw in that hashtag CS Masters.
I'm hoping that's the score because no one's voted. I'm hoping it's
I think 50-50 is the default because they just put it up.
Good. because that would be insane.
Do you have a prediction then?
Well, look, I want to challenge your constant worship of Envyus.
Go for it.
But I can't. Not against Cloud9.
They're undeniable.
Well,
irresistible.
If we were talking about
delicious,
if we were talking about a different team, I think I've got some material to work with. But what Cloud9 are bringing to the table here, especially in this veto, Envyus, I think they're going to be very comfortable on Cobble. I don't think Cloud9 are going to particularly have anything up their sleeve. Could be wrong, who knows? But I'm not feeling confident. I don't think they've shown me anything on the Cobble matches to say, well, Cloud9 are going to do well on that. Yeah. Now, I have seen them struggle on cash and, lose to Team Orbit, team that are already out of the tournament, team that came here with 19 hours notice. When Jordan dropped 50 frags, what are you going to do against Envyus? Yeah. What are you going to do when Shox is coming at you? You know what I mean? You're not going to be...
I've thought a lot about that.
Yeah, I bet you have, yeah. So it's... I can't see it getting no overpass. And if it did, even if Cloud9 did manage to take one of these two maps, which is a huge... a huge ask in itself. They then go to a map that they absolutely do not play. Like the NA teams have pretty much rejected overpass. Yeah. They don't practice it. They're not really engaging on it. So it's too tall an order for Cloud9. It was always going to be tough, but they haven't done themselves any favors with this veto. Then again, bit of devil's advocate coming in around the back there. We said this yesterday. They had a terrible veto to stay in the tournament and somehow pulled performance out the bag, but that was against Team Orbit. This is Envyus.
Number 2 team in the world.
Yeah. And clearly, and from this tournament in fine form, the one that really confuses me is the pick of cash for Cloud9.
Yeah.
Because if you see the way it was banned there, like, I don't know, which was the first
the
ban
order?
for Envy?
First ban for Envy was Nuke.
Okay, so that means that Cloud9 could have picked Dust 2. I think Dust 2 is a much better, even though Envy's amazing on it, it's a much better map for Cloud9 to play Dust 2, whereas Cash, that's like the second or third best map for Envy.
Yeah.
So you're picking into them in a really strong map. Now listen, maybe you've got some edge and you're going to get Cobblestone, which no one really knows who's amazing on that map. We haven't played it enough. But I don't like picking right into a strong suit for them, So yeah, I think that's going to be a problem overall. And if I look at the guys on the Cloud9 side, historically, one thing they'll always complain about after big games against some of the European teams is they always tell me like, we would have won, we got the pistol, like we would have won if we'd have got that second round. This is the team where if you're having problems against in anti-eco rounds, this is not the team to play. This is the team that buys the CZ, the Tech9s, and they tear you up. So just the skill differential, man for man, across the two teams, I think it's crazy. So I actually can't see any way Cloud9 wins. So listen, the reason I'm telling you like that is because if Cloud9 somehow wins this best of 3, which I think is very unlikely, it would be incredible. It would be absolutely epic. It would be one of the historic upsets. So that's the way I'd pit it. I really think it's overwhelmingly in Envy's favor.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. Let's put this in a North American Counter-Strike historical perspective. From the beginning of Counter-Strike through Source, maybe we'll throw CGS out of the window a little bit, like some of the results.
Yeah, fair enough.
But to this, I can count on my hands and feet how many times a North American team has made an international final on European soil.
Yeah.
In CSGO, the last time we saw one...
It's only happened once.
Was the Face It tournament in Milan, best of 5 against Fnatic. Yeah, and they lost that to Fnatic. Yeah. So just thoughts on that in general.
I mean, that's really shown the problems the NA scene's had. And unfortunately, that's the kind of the indictment of the NA scene, that the group that made it there, the core, is the ones that are now all banned and can now never play again. Instead, Cloud9 were always the steady ones. They were always the ones internationally that were performing. Remember, they got the semi at DreamHack Winter, the first major, 2013. Then they had round of 8s in Katowice and in ESL1 Cologne. But they've never made a final internationally in Europe. Now, yes, ESEA lands, that's something different.
Sure.
As a call, they've made one of those before. But winning in Europe clearly has been the big hindrance for these North American teams. Now, the iBuyPower team, when they made it, they actually did it, interestingly, by beating this team when it was called LDLC. They had this amazing performance where they even beat them in overtime. Actually took days dropping 50 in that game to win that Inferno game. That was an inspired performance. First of all, they're not going to play any of these maps against that team this time. And then secondly, that was still an LDLC figuring out how to become champions. Like, I think they're a different beast now. I don't think it's going to happen, but historically it would be an enormous, this would be instantly top 2 or top 3 NA accomplishments.
And you got to say as well, iBuyPower had the tools for the job. They had the tools. They could take on an LDLC.
They had the skill.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
The differential wasn't as bad.
When I say the tools, I'm talking about the individual players and their blend of skills. Now, historically, you're absolutely right. The death of the CGS gutted the North American scene. You had all these franchises, all these sponsors. There was multiple teams. Talent was evenly distributed distributed and there was talent that was interested in being good at Counter-Strike. Dead of the Siege, yes. What, like we got to go back to playing for free, playing for mouse mats? We ain't going to do that. We're Americans.
Yeah.
That's not the American dream. A pile of mouse mats is far from the American
can't go from
dream.
here back down to here.
So exactly. So they refused to do it. So the scene died. And then all you were left with this kind of shadowy cabal of people who control the entire North American scene, which was Dazed and his henchmen, basically. If you weren't involved in netcode in some way, you weren't allowed to be on a top-level team. They had that all for themselves. You weren't allowed to make guides and make money. This was one of the ways that they were able to sort of control and influence and dictate the whole scene. Great for them.
Yeah.
To the total detriment of everybody else. And this is why they, fair enough, they're great players and they had all of those tools, but the scene was absolutely starved of any other talent, any other opportunity. And it's a real sad thing what happened to the NA scene, which was amazing to watch and amazing to follow back in its heyday. Now, all that said, that iBuyPower team, just to everything they had there, you could see them getting an upset. They had a really good tactician in the form of Dazed. They had motivational players in the form of Steel. Everything that they had going on was great. They had the young phenoms in that team. The Skadoodles, the Swags. Skadoodle, just again, when he wants to be, he is a ridiculous AWPer in the form of the old days of fraud. People who would just hit shots that you couldn't even get your head around how they've done it. Cloud9 has none of that to boast about.
And you mentioned Dazed, and obviously we all know where Dazed sits now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, he's at home watching. But we talked about Cloud9 not having that hard ass leader, and Dazed's best positive and his if you play with him and didn't like him, he was your worst enemy after a while because he was that asshole when he needed to be. He was very demanding.
The way the core of this Cloud9 team was formed and set up in CS:GO was literally as the antithesis.
Yeah, exactly right.
Exactly
It was literally like the nose dazed club. That was the whole point. They'd have anyone in, and then as long as you fit their social group, because the Dazed thing was I don't care about the social aspect. I want to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's the two extremes, And their problem in Cloud9 has been that extreme of their own has kind of kept them away from having enough raw firepower to be able to get in these games. Sometimes they have the tactics, sometimes they have the maps, but they just can't get the kills and win those rounds. And their problem is they've never had the Skadoodle. They never had. They had Swag for a while, but he left. So at the moment. Yeah, they've still got Shroud, but he's not quite the phenom he looked like he was going to become the next Skadoodle. He hasn't quite lived up to it. So their problem is, it's the old story. We're back relying on nothing to be a superstar. Listen, he did it for a series yesterday, but can he do it against Envy? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, and I talked to him today and last night, and it reminded me, again, obviously I've known Jordan a long time. He was very inconsistent at times, even in the EG days, but it seems like this weekend, it's the nothing that is the phenom, right?
I mean, he has to be if they're going to win.
I think, and I don't know if the whole Hiko thing and the all the drama around Hiko leaving the team, and obviously Jordan got a lot of grief on the Hiko side, saying he's not dedicated, he more wants to stream and all those kind of things.
The implication literally was that, amongst other things Hiko wanted it done, the implication was one of them was that nothing had to be removed. And they essentially chose, they didn't say, we're choosing him over you, but they're saying, we're not going to remove him. So that then led Hiko to say, well, I have to leave them.
That was the stumbling block for Hiko, and it's super interesting. Look, here's the thing I disagree with. I understand why you're saying it, but the idea of nothing stepping up and being a phenom at this stage in his career, the fact that that's what needs to happen for Cloud9 to be successful, that's why they're never going to be successful. You can't put that expectation.
That's what I'm saying. No, he needs to be. It won't happen.
He needs to be consistent. And he needs teammates around him that are playing well.
You can't put that expectation. I mean, look, I'll give you a 3-point agenda for fixing Cloud9. First of all, nice guy Sean has to come off being the leader. Maybe he can be a tactician and put a playbook together. But when it comes to in-game, he doesn't have the force of will. And that when you're a caller and you have to think about everything tactically, your natural game takes a hit, which is why we're seeing him underperform. And at what cost? Because he's not a dominant force when it comes to making his will imposed on a team tactically. So what's the point in that? So you're cutting off one of your better players at the knees to make him a caller, which is a role he can't really execute at the level you need to for this. So then on top of that, you've got to take Shazam, you got the leash off Shazam. You've got to start doing that. I've heard it on the POVs where whenever Shazam says I'm going to go and do this, or I feel like I should do this, Semphis just shouts him down and no. You've got a player that's in two minds there, and you can't have that. Shazam was an instinctive player. he would just quickly run off a spawn and go and get a quick pick and open up a round for you. They've completely shut that down in Cloud9 in favor of something disciplined. Can't do that.
Take the handcuffs off.
To use your Shocks reference, it's like caging a butterfly. It's just, you can't do it. It's not going to work. And then the third thing that I think you've got to do is, I think you need to have, a bigger expectation on Shroud. You can't have the level of impact that he had when he first came into the scene, and everyone's like, my God, they've unearthed the rarest of gems in North America. This guy's going to be absolutely dominant. And it's almost as if he's been really complacent in taking it to the next level, because there's always somebody that's going to be worse than him in the team. There's always going to be somebody that's a focal point, be it a Semphis, be it a Nothing. The expectation doesn't need to be on Nothing for me. It needs to be on him. What are you going to do? You're the young blood. You're the young buck that's meant to be carrying these old boys with your superior, skills and reflexes.
Well, think of this. When Kenny S dominates now on a team that loses, some of the people who talk him down will say, oh, well, anyone on a bad team who's a really good player would dominate and do it. Well, let's look at all these bad teams. Where are their good players just do well?
Yeah.
They don't drop 50 every game and dominate the whole game, because actually some of them aren't as good, some of them are complacent, some of them just think, oh, I'll be fine as it is. It actually takes a special kind of player to be like, listen, even if my team's bad, I'm going to find a way to play out of my skin. And if Shroud could do that, I think he's got the skills to be him. He could be the Skadoodle of swag, but at the moment, he seems like he's too much of like a get-along guy, not like the star mentality,
Yeah, and like my final point I'll make before I throw to the casters is, oftentimes North American teams come over last minute. There is a jet lag factor. Same thing was when the Euros travel to different time zones. Cloud9 has been embedded in Europe since before Poland, so that's great for them. But you don't have that backup excuse of jet lag hit me. Like they have everything is lined up for them to do well, right? They got the excuses are all gone. So. That being said, let's get into map 1. It's going to be Cobblestone. Number 2 team in the world versus a team that just dropped out of the top 10. And this time, we've got Semler and Banks bringing you the action. Gentlemen, take it away.
Woo! Thank you, Scoots. Good looking out. I'm actually just, interacting with the crowd because it is a sick house. We've nearly got every seat full here. Live at Gfinity. What's up, everybody? This is going to be a good time. We've got our second semifinal of the day.
Oh, yes. It's going to be a fantastic semifinal, a packed-out crowd. This is a fantastic thing, not just for CS, but for UK esports as well, filling out this arena. And the action's only just begun.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Sick to have you all here. This is so cool. Nearly full. There's another one just like it on the other side of this wall here, Banks. I mean, this is really sick. That the fact that Gfinity were able to put together this tournament like this, that everybody's turning up. We have the best teams in the world competing. We have a fantastic final to look forward to, because at this point, NIP have now secured that spot.
Oh, yes.
But then you have either Cloud9 or Envy who are going to go on to face them.
It's either team that gets through, like Cloud9. They fought so hard to get here. They've worked their asses off, and it's been tricky for them. And most people didn't even expect them to make it out, but they've got this far. Now they're going to have to come against the team that's just looked unstoppable in Envyus. And you look at this map pool, and like the guy said, it's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I think this is unstoppable is the right word, because I think that Envy are going to be looking for revenge on NIP. Yeah. They're going to be looking to even things up after Katowice. That is not going to be taken lightly. But I think what we have coming up here is going to be the knife round. Everybody's bought Kevlar pretty much, apart from Kyoshima. So I guess he's like, it's going to be making him like 1% faster. He doesn't have to carry around that heavy armor plating.
He needs every percent he can get right now.
What I'm curious about, basically what has to happen here is Cloud9 have to win this knife just to get that start on the CT side, because if Envy pick up that start on the defense, I think it's going to be very difficult for Cloud9 to really get their feet under them and to start getting rounds on the board.
And you look at Cloud9, so yeah, we've just seen them lose that knife round, but they need that momentum. They need someone like Nothing to kind of build that up for them and give them the power to go through and take on Envy. And they don't want to just get rolled over.
And actually, it's good that you bring that up, because they were just discussing that on the panel, and sometimes I do wish that we could have that interaction with the panel as well, right? Be able to talk to them, because it's like a couple things that were brought up, by Richard was just like, no, not really sure about that. Shazam, I think, needs structure, because he's one of the newer players that have been brought into Cloud9. I think it's the complete opposite. I think he needs to be able to rely on his teammates and have that structure. So now are Cloud9 experienced enough on this map to provide him with a safe working place, a safe work environment, right? Like any proper employer should be able to provide.
Yeah.
And he needs to be able to fall back on that and actually be able to just be confident that his mates have got his back and that he can go to work, not thinking about too much, what he needs to be doing to carry the team.
It's the number of years down for Cloud9 actually participating at this level. They've still got a lot to learn, and they need that strong in-game leader regardless. And
that's the other card.
Yeah, and currently that's the way it's set up. And they've got this far. They finally made it out of the groups. And
it was a battle.
Yeah.
It was a battle. They had to fight every step of the way, Cloud9. And here you go. It's like the Colossus that's in their path now. They've got their little sword and their shield, right? But it's going to be real tough, hacking at the ankles of Envy. Envy right now, not too much invested, actually. They've got a bit of a mix going on. Just a couple Kevlars picked up, some more nades, some more pistols picked up, but look at that, nothing. He's already caught the lurk. Shoxy, who pushed out of A, Shoxy Yellow, the Bumblebee, has pushed out of A apartments, and he has already got picked off. That is not going to help the Frenchman here.
No, that's going to give Cloud9 right now such a boost. Nothing you could just, I can imagine him just screaming and shouting in the booth. And, well, Envyus, they're going to have to change this very quickly and halt the pace of Cloud9.
No, NBK making a lot of noise there, and I don't think he realizes that Cloud9 were waiting in drop-down room, that they were already there, present and listening. Smith is going to peek forward. He spots one man, but the push is about to come here. Cloud9 looking to get across this line, and they are going to get the kill on Kyoshima. This is a near-perfect start for Cloud9. They just need to get across the open space with the bomb, and they do just that.
Cloud9 doing fantastic right now. Perfect use of that smoke as well. It's completely rendered Envyus useless right now. Semphis picking up a kill there. Smith's actually coming in with the TK. Happy, though, does get one onto Shroud, but it's going to be up to him to take on 4 members, and the bomb is down. This is a brilliant start for Cloud9.
Oof, and he's already taken damage there as well. Gets the parting headshot onto nothing. He's going to come right around this corner, run and gun. He's going to get that kill as well. Semphis is down, but 33 seconds left and no kit. He has to find the kit on one of his mates as well here to have a shot at defusing this bomb. But first, he has to get through the remaining 2 members of Cloud9, who are playing this very well, not showing themselves. They're playing the bomb, and that's just how it has to go.
A well-deserved round for Cloud9 there. Absolutely fantastic work. That smoke was so specific for them. If that wasn't down, Envyus would have had complete coverage of it and could have been a completely different story.
But what I really like to see is that Cloud9, once they decided to go, that was it. It was like just everybody moving together as a unit. There was nobody really hanging behind. It was just commit, get that bomb onto the bomb site and put as many bullets into the air to make life difficult for Envy as possible. So Envy, definitely not the start that they were looking for in any case, but that's not going to stop them because they're like the king of ecos, like force buy pistols, right? They can still do the damage here in the second round.
There's not a single round I would ever count Envyus out of anything right now.
A nice power flash there. That's going to catch Kyoshima out in the open, but Smith with the P250 is going to find Sean Gares. Semphis coming in, and this is good. Cloud9 are trading frags. They're slowly working their way onto this site with a man advantage. This is an excellent position for them to find themselves in. Oh,
nothing's going to come in there against Happy. Nice kill, and they're doing it very slowly, executing it just perfect right now for Cloud9. Bombs being planted. It's going to be Shoxy and NBK left, and now their best chance is just hope and get some guns here.
That's exactly what NBK is looking for here. Misses that headshot. He's looking for it, though, and he does get the spray. But then Shazam is there to save the day and make sure that NBK will not be able to pick up that rifle. So a little bit of a shame there for Envy. They would have loved to have had a Galil, AK, something to work with in the next round. But instead, it's just going to be Shoxy.
Yeah, this is working out just perfect for Cloud9 right now. They getting the bombs down perfectly done, not losing too many team members straight away. This is the kind of style we need to see from them if they want to try to push Envyus to their limits.
I think Cloud9, like it's even more important for them, not only because they are like the underdog in this match, but because they're, I think, a very confidence-dependent team. Like they need things to go their way early, so that they can start building up that confidence. So that players like Shroud and Semphis can start feeling good about themselves and going out there and looking for those shots. If they're not exactly a team that is just so ironclad that they can really like grind out rounds, I think that they are a team that needs to get an early start and get their opponents on the back foot, and then just try and keep the pressure up from there.
But you just look at nothing from the pistol round. As soon as you got that first kill, that set the tone. See, once again, Cloud9 just going to be taking it nice and slow, working into this B bomb site. But interestingly enough, none of Envyus are actually pushing quite that close. They've got an interesting setup pushing further back, but it could pay off from the distance. Oh, Sean gets a nice shot onto Kyoshima there. Can he pick up a second? He's looking for it. He has spotted him. Smith does manage to get one onto Sean. Spamming away from Semphis there. Nothing picks up the kill onto Shoxy. And now this is where Cloud9 have got the range advantage. It's not working in favor of Envyus at all. Smiths, NBK both gone down. It's all up to Happy once again. 3 HP though, and well, Cloud9 have got good control of this round. Bomb down and 4 members left.
Unfortunately, he's just going to miss Shazam walking into the drop-down room there, looking towards Connector as well. So he's just looking to catch somebody exiting this bomb site at this point. If he can get a lucky headshot off, that would be big. It does look like, Cloud9 not going to give him the opportunity. They're going to focus on Connector, where they've already cleared it out. Nothing is now there. Shroud as well. They're going to be able to stop Happy from being able to push in here. There they should.
Yeah,
not sure if he heard that step. Yes, he did. Okay. Shroud heard that drop down, and there you go. 3 rounds on the board now for Cloud9.
Now this is the round that's going to kind of set the rest of the tone for this map. How are Envyus going to perform right now? No AWPs bought for either team on this side yet. And well, we were talking about that before, and that's going to be a big deciding factor for this map. The MVK getting up with a nice smoke there.
That's a gorgeous
Yes,
smoke.
look at that.
That's a gorgeous
That's
smoke.
something to learn from right there.
Yeah, that shows that they have spent some time on this map. They have prepared. And that smoke, that's a smoke to stop a rush right there. That's a, that smoke goes down, it's going to be like a brick wall. Cloud9 are not going to go running through it. But Cloud9 once again have picked up an entry frag, and that is huge for them now. Kyoshima hiding well from the flash, but he gets caught eventually. Good timing on the flashes there by Cloud9 to create that opening.
Shazam got the kill though, and that's going to give him the 2-man advantage early on. This is definitely going in favor of Cloud9 right now. Oh, nicely done by Sean onto Smiths. MBK does manage to get one. He's got to do a few bits. Oh, and he just can't make it work at all. And the crowd are loving what they see from Cloud9 right now.
Or am I surprised? I mean, it's a bit of a lose-lose for a British crowd, though, isn't it? I mean, they're cheering for an American team to beat a French team. It's like, who do you cheer for?
Maybe there's a lot of NIP fans, and that's why they're going for Cloud9.
Okay,
they think it might be the easier of the two.
There you go, okay. That works, that works. But, I mean, this is a fantastic start for Cloud9. Definitely not what we were expecting to see at the beginning here, but they've really shown some good timing. I really like the fact that they were able to stagger their flashes to clear out that long position. So you can see the Kyo from the position that he was holding there. He was dodging those initial flashes, but then, of course, once he peeks, bam, he catches one that happens a second later. So there's very nice stuff there.
This is going to be incredibly interesting. Nothing went down early on. Yes, we're seeing an eco round for Envyus, but this could change the whole pace of this round because nothing went down so early on.
A lot of this is going to come down to Shoxy Yellow, and he's not going to get the job done.
Shroud coming in with a nade and an AK kill. There are only 2 members left for Envyus. Kiyoshima does get one. Can he pick up another Shazam onto Happy? It's all up to Kiyoshima now if he can just... They're on low HP, but Shazam gets the better of him. And another round on the board for Cloud9. 5-0, and Envyus, I don't think they expected this at all, but the game changer here, Shoxy's picked up the big green gun.
He has gone for it, but one thing that we have to consider is that Shoxy isn't exactly overly confident in his offing right now. He isn't really pleased with it. We've seen him struggle with it on Dust 2, missing some key shots that have made life a little bit more difficult for Envyus. The fact that he's not getting those frags. So now we have to see, is he going to be able to step up his game here in the A apartments? Flash in, however, he's going to be under some heavy pressure here. Good anti-flashes, and no, actually no anti-flashes, really just straight flashes from Cloud9, flashing their own players, but it kind of works out for him.
Huge shot there from Shoxy, and he gets the second. Huge work from Envyus right now. Shoxy pulling both shots off, and that's going to give them a 2-man advantage this early on. And this is exactly what Cloud9 wanted to stop from happening.
Them just walking in there. Unfortunately, that push, they had the timing, but I think it was a second flash that was thrown in from a Cloud9 member. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there, but that definitely slowed things up. That allowed Shoxy to change up his position and not get overwhelmed. And then just the 2 frags right there. I mean, that's Shoxy for you, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys who's like, yeah, I'm really not feeling the op right now. And then he'll just go ahead and like drop 30 frags.
And you don't want to give him the chance. That's the main thing.
But here we go. Cloud9 striking back. Semphis burning one alive, and then Shazam comes in with a point blank on Happy. So they can change it up. I like that Cloud9 are also grouping up now. They're getting together. They may leave Shaz alone to go for a pick, maybe to draw attention to one site. But then the other 2, they're going to work together and try and at least exchange frags to get that bomb plant happening.
Yeah, well, Smith's in a good position here, but it's all a waiting game right now. Cloud9 taking it nice and slow, but it is only 25 seconds left on the clock. MBK, though, he definitely would have heard this. Oh, no, and he doesn't manage to get it. Shroud gets the better of him, and this could be the game-changing moment. Shoxy onto Shroud. Can he get the second? Damn it, he misses that one, but does get taken down by Semphis there. 2 versus 1, and it's all up to Smiths right now. Definitely possible, but he's got to make his way running to that bomb site. The bomb will get down just in enough time there, and oh, wow, he's just missing shots. He can't. Oh, tries to jump out the way, and look at that. Shazam does get the better of him.
Gets caught out and then just ends up running into the wall. So that's a near impossible situation for Smiths, though, because that long line, he doesn't have any nades to break that up. So he knows that they have an AWP. It's just so difficult. He has to try and take it by speed and just cross his fingers. Luckily for him, Shazam missed twice. But the 3rd time around, that perfect flash, that's all that did it. But again, NBK throwing that anti-rush smoke, just trying to slow down Cloud9 in case they try to put pressure out early. Envy aren't really changing it up. Again, they go for standard. They're just putting 3 guys over on B early on. 1 guy kind of holding drop-down connector, that area there. And then 2 holding close on the A side and mid. But Shoxy, no AWP this time for him.
Oh, nicely done by Happy. 2 kills early on. Will he be able to get the third here? Flash comes out. Oh, nicely done by Shoxy. Comes to back his team member up and taking down nothing. This is a fantastic start from Envyus, and this is what we're used to seeing. Can Shazam and Semphis do anything about it? Oh, Shazam getting spammed through the door. Oh, low health completely there. Does get the kill, though. Smith's onto Semphis, and it's going to be all up to Shazam in a 1 versus 4. And, well, Envyus look to maybe secure their first round here. And nicely done by Shoxy.
Yeah, Shoxy, he's got some. They're finally going to be on the board now, Envy, and that's after some good rounds there from Shoxy. Basically, back-to-back solid work from him. Now the rest of the team stepping up, happy with a good double spray down, really making it possible for Envy to weather the storm essentially. Because Cloud9, man, they were coming in hard. But look at the way that Cloud9 decided to change things up now. They're like, okay, we lost a round, everybody died. What are we going to do now to just keep Envy on their toes? We go for a double op situation, and that's a very cool play that I hope that actually works out for him. But I spoke too soon, and Sean gets picked by Shoxy early.
Yeah, straight away, nice aggressive push there from Shoxy. And literally, if Cloud9 had won the previous round, I was going to say, Envyus got to be careful because Cloud9 was starting to build up some momentum, but Envyus brought it just when it was needed, and Cloud9 had to go and do something drastic and swap this up with the double AWP setup.
Ooh, don't shoot each other. Need to pace themselves here. Fresh smoke going down a little bit earlier than Kyoshima would have liked. He would have liked to have delayed that at least another 10 seconds, but he just wants to play it safe right now. Get that smoke down, basically try and run as much time off of this clock as possible, force Cloud9 into a pressure situation. And look at how passively Envy are holding now across the board. They aren't going to be pushing forward. They're just holding angles, really forcing the time onto Cloud9.
Yeah, they need to keep that one-man advantage. They make it 2 now with Shoxy getting another kill there onto nothing. And, well, Envyus right now, they've got complete map control. Shroud does open up onto Kiyoshima. Semphis, he's scouting around everywhere right now. MBK gets one. Semphis does reply onto Smiths, though. Time is running up, 30 seconds on the clock. It's 1, and he gets taken down by MBK, and Envyus 2 rounds in a row. 6-2 right now, and, well, this could be the start of things to come for Envyus.
Oh, and I'm interested, actually, because they elect not to go for a double AWP. NBK, he was slashing that up on the ground, you know, just definitely asking his teammates, okay, Smiths, do you want it? Happy, do you want it? It would be a bit odd if Happy were to take it, because then you'd have, like, both oppers on the same side of the map. But, Smiths over on B, he potentially could try and lock down that site with it, but looks like they're going to elect to stay with the rifles. Perhaps a little bit more mobility, just having a few more bullets to spray down the approaching terrorist side.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised by that choice, because you'd think, considering how slow Cloud9 are playing it, Smiths having an AWP at the back of the site there would have been absolutely perfect.
Exactly. Or holding here, Forrest loves to play this position as well for NIP, for example, and he can have that AWP advantage. Olafmeister as well. This kind of position right now works really well with the scoped rifle. But instead, they just elect to stay with the M4s, which is better in a rush situation, right?
Yeah.
Lots of bullets, just throw it at them.
Ooh.
But the double peek coming up from Cloud9 takes MBK by surprise.
Yeah, MBK was not ready for that at all here, and Cloud9, they're not making a move for it just yet. They've got the one-man advantage. Now they've got to capitalize on it, and, well, Smith gets an early flash out. Nicely done by Kiyoshima. That starts with the spam. Doesn't actually throw the nade, though. I thought he was going to go try and get that off. Oh, and look at Sean onto Smiths there. Fantastic opening up. They're coming in slowly. Kiyoshima gets one, but he's taken down by Shazam. Happy comes from behind, though, to finish him off. Shoxy onto nothing.
Whoa.
Whoa! That was quick.
That was so fast. The instant rotation from Envy and then just every frag going their way. Looked like Cloud9 were starting to get momentum. Smith's falling, NBK falling
I thought
early.
they were going to have it.
Kyoshima getting pinned down. A little bit too predictable with Kyoshima hanging around that spot. And as soon as he chucked out that HE, the Cloud9 are like, okay, we know where you are, buddy.
You're going down.
Exactly. We're just going to come and hunt you down. But that rotation there to save the day, Shoxy just slapping him down with that AWP.
Oh, wow, well, 6-3 is your score, and another, looks like potential fast round here. Happy getting his flashes off there, and Shoxy holding position. Shazam opens up onto Happy, though. Shoxy and MBK picking up 2 kills, and now we will see it turning to a 3 versus 4. Shoxy, nicely done with the CZ75. MBK picks off nothing. Can't get Shroud, though. Nice deagle shot from him. Shroud, the last man left there. Gonna see if he can try, maybe bag himself a weapon and do anything with it here. Oh, huge one dig there onto Kiyoshima. He knows exactly where Shoxy is right now. This could be huge from Shroud. He's got to be careful. Oh, and he gets shot in the back. just the worst timing for him just there.
There you go, man. That open play situation, and just also, I mean, it's a crossfire. You're walking into a crossfire. It comes down to timing at that point. But that is still, as far as Cloud9 are concerned, I think they're going to be very happy with that. They still managed to get 3 kills in, and you guys can see before this disappears, money is very low for Envy. And on CT side, it's all about building a bank so that you can afford to re-equip your teammates in going into the next round. If Envy lose this round, they're going to be into a force buy situation or an eco. That's not good for them right now. So Cloud9, they're going to do whatever they can to keep the pressure up here.
Well, we see Shazam with the AWP once again, happy in a nice position here as well, waiting to see if they're actually going to poke through like they have been doing on occasions here. Shoxy, though, very nice position right now. Will he get a... Oh, nice use of the Molotov grenade there. He's going to push the terrorists back just a little bit there, delay anything they were trying to do at middle, and Shazam just keeping back. Again, going back to the slow play.
Now that one shot, and you can see the reposition coming out as well. They're going to be taking advantage of this. But look at Cloud9, you know, now they turned back to B because they saw that they had success there early. Now they're starting to feel around on A. Now it's where Envy start to make them doubt themselves, because they were like, B is not working anymore. We just got shut down there. A hasn't worked so far. Where do we go next? And you can see how Envy shifting around like this. NBK, you know, they go for a 2-1-2, and that's just Envy trying to catch everything.
Huge shots there with the AWP from Smiths. They're getting his site locked down, and, well, Envyus, they're just gaining map control round after round here. Happy onto Shrouds, and Smiths finishes it off with a hat-trick with the AWP.
I love the Envy guys, though. It's like you talk to them, and they're like, yeah, man, really not feeling the op right now. You know, I'm not DMing that much with it. It's a little shaky. And then, you know, they come into a live match, and they're just lighting people up.
And now we see exactly what we talked about. Smiths with the AWP, Shoxy as well. This is... now they've just got complete control.
And now they're looking, I mean, after a round like that as well, it's going to give them that breathing room that I was talking about, a little bit more money in the bank. Cloud9, again, they know this is still very close, so they're going to go for a force buy. You know, Tech 9 on Shangairs. They're just trying to keep the pressure up. But Happy now is going to be changing it up. Smoke goes through, and they just rush him down. 1-for-1 trade is going to favor Cloud9, but then NBK trying to bring it back. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, nice replies there. 3 versus 3 right now, but there's 2 AWPs in play for Envyus. Shoxy goes down at the hands of Shroud. Smiths on to nothing.
How do we keep getting these 1-for-1 trades here? This is incredible. And Kiyoshima spotted him. Oh! Just goes for the peek onto Shroud and takes him out.
That dink was so important there. Just caught the little bit of a pixel on him. And it's going to be all up to Semphis now in a 2 versus 1. He's got a 68 points of health on him now. Going to try sneak through here, but he's got to be careful. And Smiths was waiting for him. Gets the kill. And now it's all even Stevens at 6-6.
The comeback is starting to look pretty good here. I mean, that was an expensive round, but now we're starting, you can see 8,000, 8,000, like they're starting to have some money on Envy's side. So at this point, they're starting to look like they're waking up. It was a bit of a slow start for them. They got caught off guard by Cloud9. Cloud9 did exactly what they needed to at the beginning of the half, right? Just strike hard, strike fast, and catch Envy off. And now Cloud9, it's going to be a question going into the second half, you know, can they maintain that momentum? Because they have the rounds that they need for their CT side. 6 rounds is acceptable for T side. Now it's all about just maintaining the focus going into the second half for them.
And the key thing here as well, remember Cloud9 got 6-0, and now Envyus just brought back 6 rounds. If they can make that 9, it's going to be an incredible feat, and it's going to kind of put Cloud9 into a bit of a downhill spiral.
Oof, that battle there, that looked really scary.
Yeah, Happy just going a little bit too aggressive there.
Well, they figured it out. I mean, just getting tagged up, but they've done some significant damage. Look at Smiths, though, down to 1 HP. Way too close, and he just gets the morning shot on the Semphis. Takes that peek anyways. Doesn't matter if you could sneeze on him, he'd be gone.
Well, nothing. Too much spray there. Shoxy gets the better of him, and, well, Shazam's just looking for them to play aggressive. Does get the kill onto Shoxy, but it's 2 versus 4. Happy onto Shazam. It's going to be all up to Shroud right now, and, well, he's in a tricky situation. He's got 40 seconds on the clock, just an AK, and his grenades in hand, and, well, he's got to deal with 4 members of Envyus. The benefit here is that Happy and Smith's very low HP right now.
Exactly, that's how close this round has been, really. I mean, if those 2 guys die, this is practically Cloud9's round. They don't lose nothing. They don't lose the others. So, very awkward position now for Cloud9 to find themselves in. Shroud, can he hit this headshot right here? But he gets spotted. They know exactly where he is at this point. Yeah, 16 seconds, 15 seconds. Now it's a question of, you know, can he back off and save anything going into the next round?
The movement of Envyus is so smooth. They're just getting them little peaks, and they're getting such good scouting information right now. And Shroud gets the better of Happy, but NBK comes in to finish it off. And, well, 7-6 will be our scoreline. And finally, Envyus take the lead.
They are now just, I mean, now it's looking like momentum is Envy's way. Cloud9 continue to buy, of course, because they've lost 7 rounds in a row pretty much. They're going to be able to have money pretty much every round. If they can get a bomb plant, that would be pretty good. They would have a few more nades to work with. That's the one thing that's kind of holding them back. And that's why Sean Gares goes for the Tech 9 so that he can afford a full set of nades. But now the question is, do they continue with this slow play that hasn't really been working for them? Or do they start putting on a little bit more pressure, just going a little bit faster here?
Yeah, there's not really been one round where Cloud9 have switched it up and actually tried to go for a fast push and see how Envyus deal with it. And if you get too predictable, well, Envyus is just going to walk all over you, and we've seen that over the past 7 rounds.
Oh, they're just going to continue to push forward. But there you go, Smith with the double spray. The flash did not work. 2-for-1 trade is fine for Envy. He gets the info. And now already that rotation, you see them start to close those angles off, and this gets difficult for Cloud9. They have to just try and jump through this open space. They had one smoke, there's the flash, but they have no more nades, and they aren't on that bomb site.
No, once again, looking like a difficult situation here for Cloud9. Nothing though, trying to do something sneaky. Shoxy gets the better of him, and they're just being closed down. MBK onto Sean, all up to Shazam, and MBK gets the double. 8-6 is your score, and that's 8 in a row for Envyus right now as we go into the last round of the first half.
Oh, this is it. I mean, 15th round and no bomb plant. So again, we're going to see limited. I mean, surprised that Sean actually has enough money to go for that AWP, but as we can see, it's going to be glass cannon.
Yeah.
But look at them, like nades is not having nades is what hurt them in the last round, and this time they're just even going a step further. They're just going, all right, AK Kevlar for everyone. Doesn't matter. Who nades? What are those? Who needs them? But there you go. Good timing there from Sean Gares. He just timed Shoxy out.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Happy gets boosted up, and wow, does manage to get the better of Semphis. Surprised Semphis didn't actually manage to get the kill there, and now it's going to put him in a 1-for-1 situation on the team, down to 4 versus 4 right now. Happy making the rotate, MBK pushing down as well. They know exactly where Cloud9 are.
Yeah, that's very clean work there. Only seeing the one guy. It's also Happy getting that frag, so Cloud9 could start thinking, wait, why is Happy over on that side of the map?
Oh.
MBK getting flashed through with the double spray down, the double headshot, and that drops the bomb as well. This is valuable time that Cloud9 are now having to waste, trying to figure out where the remaining members are. But Sean Gares, he's going to get his second frag. In the meantime, however, he loses his teammate.
Yeah, Shazam caught out with the flash in hand there, gets taken down. It's all up to Sean. Can he pull this off? He does have the AWP in his hands. Got to deal with 3 members of Team Envyus creeping around this corner. Oh, and he misses the shot. MBK gets the kill, and that's going to finish the half at 9-6 in favor of the French team.
Now, a solid comeback there from Envy. And this is the 9-6, 9-6, 10-5. We expect to see more T rounds on this, on Cobblestone now due to the changes, the changes of the hallways, the connector.
Yep.
I mean, it makes it a bit easier for T-Side to start picking more rounds up. So instead of it being like, 12-3 or 11-4, the standard, 10-5 is about where it is. So I think Cloud9 came out ahead in that half still. 6 rounds is very comfortable, but Envy aren't exactly out of this. A lot is riding on this pistol right here. If Cloud9 could pick up the second pistol, that would be huge for them.
Yeah, Cloud9 need this pistol round, and they need to make sure they've got their heads in the game. They can't let this down hard, and 9 rounds in a row is pretty depressing, but they've got to stay focused.
Yeah, I agree completely. But there we go. Just quick place here from Envy. They're just going to go rushing out onto this A site. The bomb is there as well. They're looking to get control, but Sean Gares gets instantly taken out by the Bumblebee.
Yeah, MBK onto Semphis there with the Glock shot. Shroud trying to get the kills. Does manage to get one onto Shoxy. And then nothing onto MBK. Kirishima taking them down afterwards with the reply frag. Happy onto Shroud and Envyus. Almost a flawless round there. Very clean. Straight rush in. Well deserved. And they get the pistol round.
And Happy just doing his thing with that lurk as well. I was about to shake my finger at him. If he did not get that kill because he was going burst fire on the Glock, we were going to have words during the break. I was going to be like, Happy, never again. You just like unbind, your right mouse click. You're not allowed to change anymore. What? I like burst fire with FAMAS. That's where you just like slap him, but it's all right.
Well, we can see the double scout setup here from Cloud9. It's going to see how they can make this work for him. If they could pick up an eco win here, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And well, Semphis going to come straight on, gets the kill onto Shoxy. He's going to pick himself up a UMP as well, and that's going to give him a slight advantage there, picking up another weapon, getting one of the Envyus players down early on. MBK, though, nice timing, does manage to get nothing. He's got to be careful of Shazam, though.
This is the scary part. Do they have another flash to make use of? Yes, they do. Kirishima and Smith both have flashes. Don't want to see MBK pushing through here, however.
Smart decision by him right there. Falling back, 26 health. Could have lost to Galil. And oh, Shroud onto Kirishima there. And these scouts are going to pay the dividends. Happy, though, opens up onto Sean.
And they still have time. They still have time. Here, plenty. 50 seconds left. Now they can start wallbanging through this hut. This hut is just paper, but Shroud hits a second headshot. Looking for a third one as well. He's just so fast on his feet. Such a hard target to hit. But Happy is in the back lines, wreaking havoc, catching out rotator after rotator.
Yeah, look at this from Semphis as well. Does manage to get the better of MBK. It's now a 1 versus 1. Happy versus Semphis. UMP versus AK. Happy's got to make a move for it though. 30 seconds on the clock and oh, nicely done. Comes round the corner, takes off his head and wins a round that looked like it could have gone in favor of Cloud9.
Yeah, that is it. Good reactions there by Happy. I mean, easy frags for him, but the way that it's difficult is basically just being in the right place at the right time, and him managing to infiltrate into connector like that and neatly split the map in two. Cloud9, it was down to the defense, down to Shroud, and Shroud is probably wondering, where are my teammates? Where is the support that's going to help me stop this bomb from getting planted? Happy, he's just one step ahead. He's like, nope. But even before that call comes in, I'm going to be in position, and I'm just going to cut Cloud9 in half.
Well, Shoxy opening up this round onto Semphis right now, and that's going to give him the one-man advantage early on. Shazam even comes in there onto Shoxy. Happy onto nothing. Smith's also getting one as well. And look at Happy once again, just demolishing them, coming and surprising them from behind. Shazam then onto MBK. He's the last man alive, has got 2 out the way, but the bomb's been planted. They've got that A-bomb on complete lockdown, and they know exactly where he is. Kiyoshima, long distance, Tech 9ing it up.
He just looks over. It's like just taking a peek, like a glance. I can just picture Kiyoshima as well, you know, because Kiyoshima's a really chill guy. He's just like, what? Oh, yeah. Get rid of that guy over there. 12 rounds now for Envy. And Cloud9, they have to eat another round of eco. That's the risk that they took. They were trying to go for the big power play, right? If Hiko was here, it'd be a BDP, but that's going to set them back. That puts Team Envy practically up to 13 rounds here. It's going to be a battle for 14 when Cloud9 can afford to get rifles again. That's just so little room for error at that point for the North American team.
Yeah, it's become such a mental game right now as well for both teams here. Envyus, they're just going to be feeling the momentum. They can be running with it. And look at this, Shoxy jumping UMP headshot onto Semphis. Happy onto nothing. Shoxy does Shazam as well. And look at this, Shroud goes down. And this is just no reply, but sure. And Sneaky does manage to get one, but wasn't good enough there with the aim. And Smith gets the better of him. 13 for 6 and 13 rounds in a row. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is just brutal, outright brutal. They're getting torn limb from limb, Cloud9. I mean, what can you do when every single duel you end up losing? But, all right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That was still an eco round, right?
Yeah.
Now we have to see what they're capable of here in a buy round. Cloud9, they have the AWP, they have some nades to work with, and everybody's got rifles. So this is it. Their big moment, their time to shine.
This is make or break it for Cloud9. What happens at the start of this round is going to just set the tone for the next few rounds that could potentially be over very soon.
And we're going to see a bit of a smoke round coming out here. I like this. Envy clearly showing that they've got some preparation going into this, but the HE just doing massive damage there, slowing him up. And Shroud, he's going to get 2 headshots, and he's still here, still alive. Goes in for a 4th, but he's going to get robbed by Sean. Shazam steps in with that AWP, and Happy is now the last man alive here on Team Envy. Not looking good.
Yeah, this is exactly what Cloud9 need. It's all up to Happy, and Sean gets the better of him. And finally, after 13 rounds, Cloud9 do manage to add another one to the scoreboard exactly when they needed it.
And there's money. There is plenty of money on Envy's side, though, for a rebuy here. So Kiyoshima is going to be able to get the 2 nades in Kevlar. He'll get dropped in AK. They have everything they need here, Envy. So they're not out of the woods yet, Cloud9. They need to win another 2, basically, like this round and the next one, and then Envy will be in that rocky place, that dry place where there just isn't a lot of water, basically, not a lot of guns. So Cloud9, can they get a repeat performance here? Shroud, he needs to step up. I mean, they talked about it at the analyst desk early on, you know, the fact that he needs to be a bit of a driving force. Ooh. We need to see more of that.
Oh, look at that. Nothing. Saw it bounce back. Fired the flash out. Got a nade as well. Gets one onto Smith, but Shoxy gets the better of him. He was ideally hoping to get a couple of players there, but Semphis onto MBK. This is what Cloud9 need. Huge kill with the AWP onto Kiyoshima, and there's only 2 members left alive for Envyus right now, and this is exactly what Cloud9 needed.
Talk about the stroke of luck that nothing just gets to see that nade come back at him. It's like, wait a second. That's not supposed to happen. Yeah, that was a big warning there. Good play by nothing, able to just at least draw that out and get a frag out of it. Cloud9 now, this is a very solid situation for them. They are focusing on connector, though. Of course, they're going in together as well, just because they have to be worried. Happy's still alive. He could be anywhere at this point. So going together is solid, but Shroud, man, just slapping him down. He gets another headshot onto Shoxy, and Happy is now alive, but alone.
Yeah, Shroud has the aim, got the better of both of them there, and now that's going to be another round on the board for Cloud9, 2 in a row. Let's see if they can make it free.
It's the big question. But they're, again, they have enough money here, Envy. They might be able to weather the storm, actually. If they can get a bomb plant this round, they might be able to just keep the pressure up and keep going for buys. It's going to be a close one, and it's also going to depend on just how much gear they want. If they want to hold out, get an AWP for Shoxy, something like that.
Yeah, yep. And, well, it seems right now Envyus are playing it quite fast style. Huge nade comes in, and the Molotov goes up as well, forcing Happy out of position. MBK is going to have to be very cautious around here. Smoke goes down to put out the fire. MBK creeping around every little corner. He's going to be looking for Shroud. Needs to take off his head. Shroud flashed out of position. Nade goes off. Nothing does get one. MBK takes down Shroud, though, and that was a huge kill for MBK. Kiyoshima onto Sean. This is not the start Cloud9 needed. Nothing onto Kiyoshima. Happy catches nothing as he tries to fall back, though. Once again, coming from behind. Shazam, though, he knows exactly where Happy will be lurking. Can he get the better of him? And no, he doesn't. Another round on the board for Envyus, and they've halted this potential momentum that Cloud9 was gathering.
They were starting to pick up steam, weren't they, Cloud9? But that was, look at how fast Envy are. This turn of speed, they can just turn it on at any moment. And that one time there was a perfect flash that stopped Shroud, that slowed Shroud down from reacting, and then Shroud gets picked off. It's just a series of 1-for-1 trades until Envy just get that 2-for-1. And then from there, they have that man advantage and they never let it go. Cloud9 at this point, though, they did have enough of a buffer to be able to afford to buy, so it's not over yet. It's not, well, curtains, I suppose, but Cloud9, they have to land the shots again here.
Yeah, we've got Shazam with the AWP this time around. Smith's with his, and Shroud doing it once again, opening up onto MBK, but he's shut down by Kiyoshima. He needs some backup and fast. Sean does get the bomber, though, and takes down Shoxy. Kiyoshima does finish off nothing right there, and it's now 3 versus 3. The bomb is down. Oh, nice use of the Molotov grenade as well, but Kiyoshima gets the better of Sean. Shazam, he's going to need to do something huge here, and he's got Semphis backing him up.
They have smokes as well. They shouldn't even be attempting that jump. They have smokes to be able to block off this line, so a bit of a risky play, but they are looking to just shut it down, fight it out. Smith with the AWP. Shazam pinned down behind the boulder, and he misses another shot there on the man holding behind the pillar, just not having any luck. And as soon as he tries to push forward, Kiyoshima is there, ready and waiting to catch the flank, and Kiyoshima with the double kill in the end. So Envy, they're done with the shenanigans. They said, that's enough. We gave you a shot. We're not impressed. We're going to go ahead and close this game and take it to map 2.
Well, Shazam just then, the amount of AWP shots he missed, that was unacceptable.
Yeah.
He should have been able to get at least 1 or 2 kills there, and that would have changed it completely around.
When Envy have a smoke, they have flashes. They didn't even flash when the guy jumped over to the site. He just jumps through. So that needs to be a shot. If you're holding that angle already, that needs to be a shot that you hit.
Oh, and look at this fast round here from Envyus. They have 2 taken down already, but they've replied straight away. Back to a 3 versus 3, and Happy, look at once again. He's just going behind him all the time, sneaking about, and he's going to get, he tags him but can't get the kill. Onto nothing there, dropped him to 66 health. Gonna have to be so careful though, because he's letting him run away. Nothing does get the kill onto Happy. Nicely done by him. Kiyoshima does finish him off though, and it's going to be up to Shazam and Shroud in a 2 versus 2.
But they already know that the rotation has happened. They know that Cloud9 right now are wired tight. They're nervous. And as soon as that push starts coming in, a lot of these plays have been so fast for Envy. Cloud9 aren't going to hesitate. They're going to say, we're already behind. Just rotate over, take that risk, and get onto that site. Unfortunately for them, Envy, a step ahead. Now they're onto the B-bomb site. But they dropped the bomb carrier. Shroud is there to stop it.
This could be huge here. Shoxy's got to be able to get 1 more member down. He hasn't picked up the bomb just yet. Look at this. He's going right round the side. Oh, no. Shroud hides behind the stone. Chasing him around. Can he get the kill? Shoxy's having to push all the way around. He's got to be careful of the other player. It's Shazam, and oh my God, it's so close. Shoxy has an idea of where he could be. And look at that from Shoxy. Wow. Absolutely unstoppable. 16-8 in favor of Envyus. And even in a 2 versus 1, they managed to pull it out of the bag.
Yeah, I think it's fitting. I think it really is fitting what he does to his hair, because he totally went Super Saiyan in that last round right there. 1v2 clutch situation, in a crossfire situation as well. The one thing is that, how is it that the second man who's waiting up on ramparts there is not able to push in when Shoxy's moving up on Shazam? How do they not just decide to push together? Shoxy should not be able to. Exactly. Shoxy's not supposed to be able to go in and actually, turn that into a 1v1 like that.
Yeah.
It needed to be Cloud9 taking advantage of that extra man, and then actually, just closing Shoxy out. That was the best opportunity there to be able to do it.
And they had so much time as well. Shroud was just keeping him back the whole way.
Exactly, but off of the back of a fantastic headshot from Shroud, he drops the bomb carrier. That's like the best case scenario scenario right there for Cloud9.
They were focused on the bomb and not on actually getting the kill and closing out the round.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit close. That was a little bit close in the last round. I may have got a little ahead of myself when I said, Envy, they're looking to close it out. I was like, whoa, okay, Cloud9, they're coming back into it, but. This time around, actually, I think that sets the tone here for this best of three. Cobblestone, I think, out of all three of these maps, because it is going to be Cobble, followed by Cash, and then to close it out, if necessary, Overpass. I was thinking before this match, Cobble has to be the map that Cloud9 win, I think, to have a shot at it, because if you go into Cash next, Envy, they're excellent on it, and the third map, Overpass, again, Envy are excellent on it. So it's just going to be an uphill struggle from here on out for Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 have got to bring that A game once again. We're going to have to see Nothing step it up, because he was kind of quiet in that game. The rest of this weekend, he's really been pushing for it.
No, he has. But let's go ahead and hear from the analysts now what they have to say. Take it away, Scoots.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We're admiring Banks' facial grooming skills.
His eyebrows game is on point, to use caster terminology.
Very much on point. So that was Envy's map. We did talk about...
No, that was definitely Envy's map.
Their pick.
Yeah.
We did talk about Cloud9 having successful cobblestone matches here at the tournament. Obviously, that didn't work out. I think you saw some just critical, basic gameplay breakdown in some of that stuff, like that very last round. 1v2, they know where he is, they know where Shox is, yet instead of making a crossfire, they both kind of stay hidden when he was getting pushed. And it kills one, kills the other. GG.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think for Cloud9 there, again, it's pretty much... a microcosm of everything that we've talked about, the ongoing problems within the team. They got off to a pretty good start. They win the pistol on the T side. They managed to post 6 rounds. And then just from there, Envy are like, okay, well, we've got the measure of these. We bedded in. We've got our economy sorted. And they can just show their superiority. And their superiority is clear in every area in relation to Cloud9. They weren't really able to capitalize on a good start at all. So, I mean, I don't think they were ever likely to win Cobble. I'm pretty sure Cloud9 might have had that in the back of their mind somewhere. But actually, they, after you get off to a good start, there's no belief, no direction in the team. They didn't really know what they were doing. There was no coordination, no cohesion. Stark contrast to what Envyus were doing, where, someone would lob a flash around the corner, MBK peaks, gets 2 kills. Just far superior. You can see which team is well drilled and which one's higher up in the global rankings by quite some distance here.
I mean, Envy just completely outclassed them. You'd think when you first watched that game, it must have been competitive. They had the 6-0 start. No, they had the dream start on the harder side.
Yep.
And yet after the 6-0, they only won 2 out of the next somewhat like 17 or 18 rounds. Something insane where they got utterly dominated in every respect. And from there on out, every type of round was Envy's. Even if Envy got that early death, so they were down 4v5, 3v5, you somehow knew they were going to win the round. Like there was never any comfort in the Cloud9 side of things. And so, yeah, the half ended 9-6, and then they just never looked back, Envy. Like, yeah, I can see why they picked this map. Hey, I was wondering in the first half, like, oh, maybe they've misread Cloud9 picking this, but their own T side was amazing. So they were probably never worried, I think.
And special mention to Happy as well. I mean, once again, right up there, top in the frag charts. He's the in-game leader. He's the in-game caller. He's the tactician. This kid's got it all. And you did a great impression of him yesterday, which I'm sure he really enjoyed. But yeah, just great play from him. And then when you need to clutch Shox, he's there. Seriously, Envyus just on another level right now.
We're gonna jump into Cash after a break. I imagine they're gonna tell me we're taking a break in a second.
Yeah, they're paying you already. They bring that wheelbarrow out. Yeah, you just jump around in it. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You chose the biggest sellouts 2014, man. It's amazing stuff.
I'm hoping to be
Is
one
that
day.
true?
Yeah.
Well, you especially. You're still grinding, man.
Yeah,
You're still grinding.
People will still employ me. When I start making my geopolitical views public, that might change.
I mean, you have an agent, all right? Who has an agent? I mean, come on. You're a superstar now.
Yeah, Thorin doesn't need an agent. He just needs a gag. Someone just to come and put it on. So what I think about this is deploy the gag. That's what he needs.
So again, we will jump into Cash and break it down. That was Cloud9's map, so obviously it's do or die time for them. We are going to take a quick little break, and again, we'll break down Cash when we get back.
care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay here till it's over. Till the world's out of sight, we will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. And they thought they could keep me down, hold their breath and watch me drown, but all they did was push me higher. We don't care what they say, we will be here all day. We'll stay here till it's over, till the world's out of sight. We will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. Through the nights in the rain, through the time and the pain, the stand will never fall. And then at the end of it all, we will win, we will chant. It's not over till it's over.
Welcome back, folks. Gfinity Spring Masters #1, live from London, England. Duncan and Richard, we talked about Cobblestone. Obviously, well executed, solid victory by Envyus. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now we step into Cash, which is Cloud9's map. They've played it twice this tournament. Won one, lost one, both against Team Orbit. Envyus has played it once. Team Property, 16-0'd. So let's talk about the map, the choice by Cloud9, and then obviously some keys to victory from you guys.
I know it is an interesting thing. I actually happen to know that Envyus think they're really good on Cash. They think it's one of their best maps, actually. I've seen them play exceptionally well on it. Cloud9, the old Cloud9 with Hiko, used to actually be pretty good on it. They beat Virtus Pro on it a couple of times at European tournaments. So if it was the old Cloud9, I'd say, okay, I can understand the pick there. Maybe there's some good matchup. But like he's mentioned already, when they played Orbit on it, that was very unconvincing. They should have been smashed on that map. Yeah, they beat them in the second time around. That was good. But I think against a team of Envy's quality and the form they were in that map there, I think Envy's going to cruise to this. So a key to victory. Okay, I'll go the other side. I'll let Richard do the Envy's side. I'll just say for Cloud9, what are their keys to victory? Well, we've already said it before, but since they lack a bit of firepower, they really need nothing to be on form. And we saw in the first map there he wasn't. He was doing really poorly. He was doing really badly. And I've said it multiple times, but I don't even feel like Shazam has to dominate. He just has to contribute. Like here's the thing, okay? One of the reasons why, if you're an AWPer, you have to be very good to do that as your dedicated role is the gun costs so much and takes money from your teammates when they're buying it for you, that if you're not getting multiple kills with it, you're just not having game impact. You know?
Yeah.
Never mind the kill bonus. You're not taking out enemy guys. You're not giving extra chances to your team being ahead in numbers. So he has to get AWP kills. I won't even say he has to get lots of kills in general.
Yeah.
Get AWP kills for Shazam. Nothing must do very well. I still don't think it'll be enough. I think Envy's going to close this out now and go to the final.
I think this will be dominant for Envyus. I really think this is a strange pick for Cloud9, and Duncan's right. You know, Envyus are very confident on this. They probably weren't expecting to play this. I think the plan today was to kind of underestimate Cloud9, play maps that maybe aren't, their top picks, and Cloud9 have picked cash for them, so they've kind of played into their hands a little bit there. Keys for victory. I mean, again, there's an embarrassment of riches in this Envyus team. We've talked about how Happy makes the team tick. Obviously, he's got to be on point. Turns out this tournament he is. I think there's a very strong argument to say he's one of the MVPs of the whole affair so far. He's turned up every game consistently, fragged, calls. He's got it all. And of course, shocks. Again, this is a map where entry fragging is hugely important, and it just so happens Envyus have got one of the best entry fraggers in the world when he decides to turn it on. So, what Shock's going to do? He was open a little bit on Cobble. Is he going to do that? Is he going to use the rifle? How's he going to open up the sights for his team? Certainly, we saw enough there with some of the clutch play he had to know that he can do it. So, again, I've got Envyus way out in front for this one. I mean, keys to victory: turn up, play.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for the teams to kind of get ready and everything to settle down in the arena, we were talking offline. Again, we talked about guns yesterday and OP in this, and we started talking about smoke, especially watching some.
You're in
of
the
those
right city to buy some.
Yeah. So and it's been talked about for a while. I think Lurpus has talked about it. Other kind of experts have kind of talked about smokes are cool because in 1.6, especially online, there was 16 bidding. They were very ineffective, very not necessarily key to strats at all, and this version of the game, very key, and obviously some people are saying OP. Your thoughts on it?
Thing is, first of all, I'll give Valve credit. The problem with the smoke in 1.6, it was an afterthought. You did it, you smoked, but you could only cover off half an angle. Like an AWPer could see over it very easily. It dissipated very quickly from the time it was first thrown. Multiple smokes didn't really sort of add up to much. They just were at the same time existing. So it didn't really help you to throw multiple ones. The smoke is very effective in CSGO. I like that. I like the fact that if you actually throw a smoke, you do block off an entire area. The problem is, it lasts way too long. Like, I'd rather it had the quality of the smoke in CSGO. I like that, the coverage and how thick it is, but it should dissipate as quickly as 1.6. Like, it should only last maybe 5 seconds or something. It feels like it lasts an eternity. So then if you throw one, and they throw another one 5 seconds, another one, it feels like you can't see anything forever. And so I think that's actually a bad quality, especially because what's funny is you'd think the way smokes were important in 1.6 was always the terrorist using it. Yeah. He's the one using it. Maybe you use it to retake a site, but that's because when you're a CT retaking, you've essentially become the offensive side. The problem in CSGO is it's a weapon that can be abused by the defensive team. You now throw a smoke and he doesn't want to come through it because he can't see anything and you're stood aiming for him to come out. Yeah. So it just makes it even more CT-sided.
He's took away my point that I was going to make about the smoke.
Listen, I love how powerful they are. Just make them not last as long. I think that's the OP part.
So you're okay with the size? You're okay with the density of it and everything?
One thing I didn't originally like, but I even like the fact that you can throw them over the maps because we've seen some incredible, constant innovation with that. The number of crazy smokes you'd never think of. I like the innovation, but no, the time they last, I actually think is negative for the game. I think it's a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say, they definitely need to shave the time down a little bit, but it makes me laugh that the community are kind of complaining about smokes now a little bit, because for the longest time, in like as you say, they were pretty much an afterthought in 1.6. In CSS, people were just complaining about, you had one-way smokes, where you at certain areas on the map, you could throw them on the ground, and you could see through them through one side, and the team that was coming up couldn't, and then you had the ambient occlusion bug, which of course was exploited online time and time again. Smokes ultimately became meaningless. Every time there was a kill through smoke, there was a question mark about its legitimacy. Now we've got this point where the smoke is thick. There's no kind of hacks or bugs. There's no one-way gimmicks with it. But Duncan's right. They do tend to last a bit too long. The fact they've become a weapon defensively and you can just throw a smoke down and it completely kills a push stone dead, that is too powerful. And they need to have a long think about how they're going to balance that out.
Gotcha. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, it is time. It's do or die time for Cloud9. You guys both have Envyus winning it.
Yeah.
So we shall see. Semler and Banks, take us away.
Thank you very much, guys. all the old boys club sat around the table there, giving us a bit of knowledge once again.
No, and I agree that the smokes are kind of in a weird place right now, a little bit too long perhaps. But I think the main thing, and that's when Cloud9, teams like this really start to shine, is then when they can compound the smokes with the incendiaries.
Yep.
And that's the big combo right there that you have on your CT side. Once you start getting enough money to be able to afford a Molotov and a smoke every round, that's when you know you have problems.
But it's something C9 does all the time. They're just constantly, any opportunity they get, they're using the Molotovs.
They rely very heavily on them, right? They're a team that really has worked that into their main strategy, but for good reason, because Molotov smoke, you block off that part of the map for so long. So let's see now already, the knife round is going to begin. I don't think this is a big issue for Envy. It is going to be more important for Cloud9. And so Sean Gayers clutching it out there, managing to get that CT start for his team is a big start for Cloud9, obviously.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Cash. Obviously, it is Cloud9's chosen map, but Envyus, they were just on such a rampage. Cloud9, they're going to have to play literally the game of their lives.
No, I think so. And Envy are definitely not phased by this. They are not nervous. There's nothing going on. I mean, they are just saying, okay, that felt good. Now we're just going to go into this map, Cash, where they should be heavily favored, because throughout this tournament we've seen that Cloud9, apart from the second rematch versus Orbit, have been just really struggling on this map, just to get things going for themselves. So here it is. Once again, we're going to say the same thing as on Cobble. Cloud9 need a perfect start. They need to stop Envy early.
Yeah, this pistol round has to be Cloud9's, and well, Shazam's got himself in a good position. He's got Semphis to the right of him there, and Envyus taking the slow approach onto the A bomb site, focusing heavily on Door as well. And wow, they're not wasting any time, straight in there. It's up to Shroud. Can he get one? He's trying to fire off, gets the first kill, but Shoxy shuts him down. Nice work from Nothing and Shazam though. MBK tried to reply and Nothing finished him off, and look at that. We said it was needed to be done, and Cloud9 secure the pistol round.
And there you have it, man. Just run and gun too. Just know, even Shroud, that's the magic of Shroud. He's able to just bust out these shots whenever, he should have been overwhelmed there by the two guys wrapping around the back of the quad boxes. He should have been gone. Instead, he just peeks out and gets that headshot on Kiyoshima. So he still even gets value there. And then Nothing and Shazam, just great shots. I mean, that's what it came down to, really. If Cloud9 can hit shots like that, then they have a fighting chance versus Envy.
Well, Envyus right now are going to be on the eco. Shroud already getting the first kill with the FAMAS here. Shazam trying to utilize that scout at middle. It's giving him some good information. He's got to check they haven't dropped down. But look at this, Envyus trying to go straight in once again. Semphis though, heavy spam, does manage to pick off Smiths there. And well, he's got to do a little bit more work than that. Stop them planting the bomb, hopefully. They are just about to get it down. It is MBK planting it right now. Nicely done by Semphis, trying to fire off, but MBK gets the better of him. Shazam walks in, goes to pick up the M4 as well. Sean comes in, Nothing does get one kill. MBK fires back, but finally taken down. They will get the defuse, but a lot of weapons taken out the hands of Cloud9.
Then you can see them over there. I mean, they're not too excited. I mean, yes, okay, they got the round, but they know that could have been a whole lot better for them. And Sean Gayers, I mean, now he's got to really just try and pump his boys up, because that might rock them a little bit. Just a Tech 9 Kevlar buy out of Envy, and them just managing to peek together. You saw how they worked together as well. It was like one guy came out a little early, but then the second guy comes out behind quad boxes. They peek down Semphis together with the Tech 9s. I mean, you can really see that Envy are working well together as a unit. So Cloud9 now, again, they need to put that last round out. Okay, we got the round on the board. Now we're going to shut them down.
And what's going to be dangerous is MBK. Oh, but he gets taken down straight away by Shroud. Did have the AK in hands. Trade-offs completely there, but in favor of Cloud9 currently due to the weapon situation. Kiyoshima has, though, managed to pick up the M4. Nothing does take down Happy Shazam onto Shoxy. It's all up to Kiyoshima. He does have that all-important M4 in his hands, but he's got the bomb as well, and he might just try to bide his time here and kind of fake onto the site, make him think he's gone elsewhere.
Yeah, he could. I mean, look at this. Already the counter rotation coming out through Garage right now. That's Nothing working his way back over, making sure that Envy, Happy can't actually work his way back towards that B site. So this is more and more information gathered here. Nothing has to worry perhaps that he went through T-spawn, but now he's going to start closing in on this A site, and eventually Kiyoshima's just going to get boxed in. 45 seconds left on this clock, so he does have some time to sit, and this is all now a game of, can I get somebody to peek? Is somebody going to get impatient and give me an opportunity? But there are the steps, and that's it. Shazam, all he needed to hear was that one step, and he knew that he could go for it. So very well done there by Cloud9. Also by Envy, though. I mean, Envy, they didn't show any fear. That's another thing. When this team, they just go together, all three of them just rush into Squeak. Nobody backs off, no hesitation. They just turned it into a brawl, and they were still able to make something happen.
Yeah, the confidence that you can see from Envyus, despite them losing, obviously, the first 3 rounds, is ridiculous. And now this is where we're going to see the all-important battle, where they've got all these powerful pistols in their hands. We can see Famas down on Sean. He's just backing off a bit already. And look, nothing. He gets caught off guard. Kirishima gets the better of him. Sean gets one. Semphis onto Happy. Shazam's trying to poke out there, trying to get a shot with the AWP. Nicely done by Sean, and Shazam comes in to get the final kill. But when we see the guns in Envy's hands next round, this is what's really going to make the rest of this game.
Exactly. This is going to make the difference here. And I'm glad that you said, that the Envy, they have the confidence. What they need to worry about now, and that play from Happy 2 rounds ago, going through mid like that and not worrying about connector, just looking up short and playing it patiently. Overconfidence, I think, is Envy's worst enemy right now. They still need to keep themselves in check and play seriously, because as soon as they start letting off, Cloud9, sure, Envy may not respect them as much as a top tier, but they need to still, they can still land some shots.
Well, that was a fantastic shot with the AWP from Shazam. Tries to get a second one there. I think he does actually tag MBK down to 62 health. And Shoxy, though, has managed to get through middle, and he could really do some damage here to Cloud9 if he's not caught off guard. And look at that fantastic shot onto Semphis. Shazam does take down MBK. Shroud onto Shoxy. Smith and Happy are coming up with kills themselves. It's all up to Sean. 2 versus 1 right now. Sean's going to be making legs towards that A bomb site. The bomb is going to be planted, and look at that from Happy. Perfect use of that smoke. Fantastic position, and does away with Sean very easily.
What a clever play there by Happy. I mean, that is it. You're running up with the nade because you see that smoke down and you're like, okay, they're playing scared, they're playing passive, they're waiting for me on the site.
Safe.
Exactly. And then Happy's like, nah, bro. Nah, time for a nap. Like, that's how it goes sometimes with Envy. Also, Envy just in position to refrag constantly. They're not alone. They're always, apart from Shoxy pushing up short, he did manage to get that 1 kill on the man rotating through CT. But after that, it was always just tit for tat. Envy, we lose one, but then we take you back, and as long as we maintain the man advantage, we'll eventually just grind out this round.
And I think one point we haven't really focused on here is the fact that Envyus, they've got all these little positions, these little smokes and things that just set them apart from Cloud9 right now, and that's making the difference in a lot of these close rounds.
As far as they're concerned now, Happy just going to be taking his time. This is a 4 spy coming out from Cloud9. Shazam still enough for an AWP on his side, but a scout on Shroud, a 5-7 on Sean Gares. So you can see that Cloud9 are just eking by with the buy round here. But we haven't really seen any over-aggression. Actually, as I say that, Shoxy catches Shroud, who was trying to peek around. That's actually from main, though. So, again, just being able to catch somebody out of position on a site, that's a big play there for Envy.
Yeah, and look at this. They're going to be falling back just a little bit, getting their way towards B right now, taking it nice and slow. MBK leading the charge, and look at that. Sean's going to be pushed out of position. He's having to sit in the fire. Happy gets one. Sean still manages to pick up the kill onto MBK. Can he get another? Smiths comes from behind and gets him down. Only 2 members left alive for Cloud9 right now, and Envyus are probably looking very happy to secure this round. And saying that, Happy takes down nothing. It's going to be all up to Shazam, and probably the best situation for him is going to be holding on to his weapon.
Yeah, Happy just has all of the advantages in these situations. And there you go. I mean, this should be a shot here for Happy. A little bit sloppy, but he does get the job done eventually. I mean, Happy is, again, he's putting himself in these positions where he's just going to catch Cloud9 looking the wrong way. Round after round, he's getting these frags on the board that are basically just taking advantage of the inexperience on Cloud9's side. Cloud9, they've been here, they've been pracking versus European teams, but as far as officials are concerned, Envy are showing them that, prac and officials, it's 2 different ball games.
And once again, we're seeing some great flashes coming out. Sorry, great smokes even coming out from Envyus. MBK scouting onto this B bomb site. Molotovs do go down. And nothing showed himself there. MBK now knows exactly where he is. Nice smoke coming out as well. And nothing can't get the better of anyone. Look at this. Envyus just tearing into that B bomb site. All of the CTs going down. All up to Shazam right now. He doesn't know where to look. Tries to fire back. Gets shot down. And another round on the board for Envyus. And this is where they start to build up that momentum. And this is where it starts to look dangerous for Cloud9.
Absolutely. This is where it gets very scary for Cloud9 because Envy are now starting to dial them in. Despite Cloud9 coming out with some clever plays, I mean, one thing to note is, Sean Gare's waiting in that Molotov, that extra second so that Envy don't think anybody's back there. I mean, Cloud9 are coming up with clever stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just like a brute force approach from Envy. They walk into a B-site stack and just annihilate it. That cannot be allowed to happen.
Now Semphis got himself in a good position. Nothing has shot out the vents as well. Giving that noise and letting the T's know that they've got this mid control. Nothing's going to position himself nicely. They love boosting up.
This is also, I mean, this 4 spy coming from Cloud9 is also a show of lack of confidence on their side. Oh, the barrel, he spots it. Shoxy lands, but Semphis gets the headshot, and that makes the difference. Now Shroud comes in on short, but he's not going to be able to pick up that frag, and that was a crucial kill right there. They could have potentially stabilized behind it, but now Cloud9 are down 2 men, and Envy have all of the control. They're right in the middle of the map. They can go anywhere at this point.
We were talking about that overconfidence. Shoxy right then was a prime example of that. Jumping down, thought he'd easily have it, and gets taken down and loses himself.
The one thing, that what we talk about sometimes when it comes to like overconfidence and lack of, when you're behind, because now Cloud9 are behind essentially. They are on the CT side. This is a 10-5 map. We should expect Cloud9 to get up to 10 rounds or so. They know now they're starting to feel the pressure saying, well, we're losing control here. We have to do something, right? And that's where you have to rein yourself back and say, wait, we're on this favored side. Let's take another round. Let's eco again instead of risking our money and giving them more chances to get more rounds against pistols. So Cloud9, they took the risk that last round going for rifles. Not sure if that was the right call to make, and now they're once again back on pistols here, and Envy, they're going to be right on top of them.
They can put themselves, like you said, in the position that they just don't want to be in right now. But Cloud9 once again trying to get the better of Envyus here, trying to get the angles, but nicely done by Sean, does get one onto MBK, tries to fire around, but Kiyoshima gets two. Happy onto Shroud, and Happy once again sneaking around the back, time after time. He's just taking advantage of it, and Cloud9 aren't reacting to it. They're not waking up. He did this to them on Cobblestone. He's doing it again on Cash. Wake up.
That's the thing. Happy now is just, he's in his zone. Like, he's just so comfortable. And, okay, here's how they decide to change things up, Cloud9. They go for the double AWP. So Sean, Shazam, they're going to try and lock down different portions of the map. Shazam is in mid. Sean should be going to that B hall to see if Shoxy's going to be trying to push through there at any time. But instead, it's going to be a push mid. And Shazam gets the job done. Gets that first frag and takes out Smiths.
Yeah, nicely done, and he's falling back. The smoke has pushed him out of position, but look at this. Once again, Shoxy's coming round nice and early. He might be able to catch a couple of CTs off guard here. He's going to utilize that smoke in a great position. Got the Molotov down as well to go over the top. MBK onto nothing at middle, giving them back to a 4v4 right now. Shoxy pushing up. Shazam does open up onto Kiyoshima. Shazam's got to do the work here, but Shoxy takes him down. Semphis, though, coming around the side. Couldn't get one Shroud onto two. All up to MBK right now in a 1v3. Tricky situation, but Dave, he's the man. He can do it.
Can. He's just got to be patient. He's still got 50 seconds left, so he doesn't need to rush. He can take his time with this, and he's trying to find the correct angle, essentially. He's going to catch Shazam out, and Shazam just barely makes it out in time. No reaction, however. Semphis just playing this so carefully. He will get the kill in the end. So very close call there, but that's, Semphis wasn't positioned in CT. As soon as Shazam is getting shot at, I would like to see Semphis
run rounds.
Yeah, speed up and potentially save his teammate instead of leaving it to where he is then going to be the one taking the duel. So that situation went Cloud9's way. Honestly, if it's going to be like that, they need many more of them in that case. They need to be just winning the duels. If that's the way that they're going to play this, they just need to be landing the shots.
It just puts me in a worrying position for them, because if MBK managed to grab that kill, then it could have been a whole different round. And wow, Happy coming up with the double onto Shroud and nothing, opening up the round. Fantastic start for him, but Semphis does reply, and well, Shoxy's running around once again, takes down Semphis, and only leaving two members of Cloud9 this early on in the round. This is not ideal situation for them. Shoxy being very careful, looking through every little part he can of that smoke.
He knows he's got control of this side at this point. You can see that instant communication to Envy. They start rotating the bomb over. No reason to go where the remaining members of Cloud9 are. There's no reason to take a fight apart from to bully them. But then Shazam is like, I don't like bullies. I don't like your hair color either. And he just like slaps him down, right?
Well, Sean is going to rotate. Smiths would have heard that the bomb has been planted in the A bomb site, and Smiths is going to be a dangerous weapon here. Going to come round and they've just heard him. Maybe a little bit too over-eager, chasing him down. And Sean's going to get the best angle he can. He does have Molotov in hand. He will be trying to use that. He's got the AWP pinned. Oh no, and it comes back towards him. Fire's not actually near him right now. He's just going to run straight through it, taking a lot of damage, dropping down to 24 health there, and he can't afford to lose this AWP. He needs to be able to hang on to it, and Smiths is going to just try bully him out of position.
Yeah, Smith really wishes that he had Kiyoshima's HE right now. Nice timing by Shazam to come in and actually pick up that kill. And that is going to be, well, again, Cloud9 not really working together, but they do manage to save one of the AWPs. That's the problem. That's the risk, the huge risk that you take going for a double AWP play. It's so expensive. $47, $50 just spent on that one rifle. So going for a double, if you lose one of them, it's just, that's out the window. Now you have to just rely on the single one here. And Shazam, They decide to go for another gamble here, Cloud9. They decide to go for another stack. And unluckily for them, it's not going to work out this time.
And look at this well-executed rush coming out from Envyus onto the A bomb site. Shroud's trying to do his best, but Shoxy shuts him down. Happy once again doing his own thing here, coming at middle. Shazam does get rid of MBK. Semphis managing to catch Happy off guard, using that smoke to his advantage. And this is where it could start to look a little bit tricky here for Envyus if Cloud9 continue to apply this pressure. And oh, nothing pre-firing a little bit too early there. Shoxy coming around, does finish off the kill. Shazam, though, has managed to take down Smiths. Quickly taken down by... Oh, wow. Shazam's the last man left. 1v1 between him and Kiyoshima. Gets the kill! Why did Kiyoshima push out right there?
I wonder. That's, again, confidence, right? And there's also going to be plays like that because Envy, they're looking at the scoreboard and they're saying, okay, a lot of this is going our way. We've got 6 rounds on the board. Hey, you know, let's live a little, right? You know, I'll take that risk. He's an adrenaline junkie. You know, that's what's happening. So he decides to take that 1v1 with a Shazam, and Shazam, he gets it done. And Shazam right now, you know, we were talking about this a little bit, or rather Richard, you know, was talking about this during the break before when we were leading into these series. You know, Shazam needs to be the one of those players that steps up for Cloud9. That AWP can have such a high impact. Well, look at him now. He's got 14 frags. He's in the lead for his team. Now it's up to the rest of them to start stepping up and landing some headshots.
Yeah, and that would have given his team such a boost just then. Huge 1v1, manages to pull off a shot like that. Kiyoshima just getting out of position. And now we're back at even Stevens in 6-6. And Cloud9 hopefully going to try claw their way back a few more rounds. It'd be a huge win for Cloud9 if they can get 9-6 this half.
That would be it. I mean, that's best case scenario, right? 9-6, that just means, you know, they're 1 round short of the average. That would be all right. It's feasible, right? If they were to pick up the pistol round, then they can go from there. So Envy are now the ones. I mean, they're the ones who are going to be looking for a different opening here. And again, actually Cloud9 have a pretty decent situation. Well, just 2 guys holding on that B site, but 1 man close to connector, so he could potentially rotate over fairly quickly. Instead, it's going to be that wall. This is going to make it look like a B split. But these smokes go down, you have to worry about vents, you have to worry about checkered, and do they have somebody in position that? No, they do not.
Wow, this is going to be huge. MBK is going to come through. He takes off the head of Sean. Fantastic work from MBK. Ran through them vents, absolutely fearless. Gets the better of him. Happy though. Oh, he spots Semphis. Semphis does get the better of him. Shocked in the meantime, has taken down nothing. Shroud's going to come up top, spamming through that smoke. Is getting fired back though on 60 health right now. The bomb has been planted. Vents are covered. Smiths takes off Shroud's head. And it's going to be all up to Semphis and Shazam.
And that's it. That should be the time where Cloud9 decide to back off. They are going to try and save these guns against Shazam. Needs to hold on to that AWP. But Team Envy should be picking up on this. Team Envy know that they have Cloud9 on the back foot, that they are behind in this in rounds and also in money, and they are out and hunting. So this is exactly what Envy have to do. They need to see if they can't get at least one of these guns off of Cloud9 to make that buy even harder in the next round. There's Semphis finding MBK, who's peeking around on short. That leaves it down to 1 man here. That's going to be Shoxy. He's the closest man to this A site, and he's going to be looking to see if he can't catch somebody fairly quickly here. Just enough time to peek, and he's not going to get it. So big win there for Cloud9. They actually succeed in holding onto the guns.
Yeah, that's going to play a major part going into this round right now. Envyus just leading with 1 round, and well, Cloud9, we said the ideal situation is 10-5 for them. It's definitely not going to happen right now. They've got to do the best they can, and look at the weapons we see. Even Shazam's picked up his AWP. We've got 3 M4s in play, and obviously the CZ75 from Sean. This has got good potential for Cloud9. They've just got to play it right, and Shazam, nearly just too aggressive almost, but gets the kill onto Shoxy, and that's the start they needed. That's the start they wanted.
And it seems like Cash is just this magical place where individual players will step up for Cloud9. Yesterday it was nothing, and today it looks like Shazam here on this map. And definitely not, I mean, when we saw the maps that were chosen, you know, Envy, definitely a clear favorite for Cash. But Cloud9 this time around, it is going to be Shazam trying to bring them back on their CT side. He is looking for the wall bang there. Nice little clever spot. If he goes for it again, nope, he's not Chris J. So, down a man for Envy, however, and they're still playing patiently. They still have 50 seconds left. But it is going to start looking like a bit of a peak here.
Communication from Envy is always paying off. Communication is the key to success, and you just look how they execute and never put themselves in tricky situations with the timers.
Listen to that though, Happy. He just turns right there, he confirms, okay, 1 guy at backside, 1 guy is on quad boxes right now. That's where you have to worry about it. He's going to hear the steps back on. So they kind of have an idea now of where the defense is set up. He sets up that smoke there. That's going to be blocking off that corner. He's going to be able to get out through here, and then the flash to follow. Kiyoshima, perfect. This is like working out perfectly for Envy. Just an excellent A take. They get the bomb, and they're going to be able to get the plant.
Yeah, the execution is almost flawless here. 3 versus 2. They're in that A bomb site. MBK gets the better of nothing. It's all going to be up to Sean. And he fluffs up the shot with the AWP. Does manage to finish MBK off with the CZ75. He's in a 1 versus 2. The bomb is down. Is he going to go for it?
He has to. There's no backing up now. He has to commit. He's right on top, and he's in a 1v2. If he could find that shot, it would be big, but Happy, once again, changing up the angle, becoming so difficult to predict. Will be picking it up and getting that 8th round on the board for Envy. Now, oh man, and now, this is like Manor Hatch or, you know, what is it, Dropping Mules, like the auto sniper coming out on MBK on T side.
Ultimate disrespect.
Yeah. This is MBK just going in here, and he wants to make it hurt. Let's see. Do we have a Deagle on the other side? We have the Scout. We need a headshot from Envyus. Let's shut down this auto sniper.
Oh, Sean pushing very aggressively. MBK, he's fired off that auto sniper. They know they've got it. He's just spamming away through that smoke, seeing who he can pick off, and he's just having fun right now.
That is cheeky. Oh, this HE touchdown. Yeah, drops Shazam down to 50 HP. And now they know that Shroud is back here at the back of the site. Bam, takes him out. Happy first kill there. That's going to weaken the defense. Shazam trying to rotate up short, catches a man out in the open, but Shoxy just annihilates them, and it's down to nothing. Last man alive, 1v5. He's just looking for some way to get into this site, some way to have an impact here.
He's going to be closed down completely by the T's right now. He's checking all his angles. Best thing he can do here is try and get a weapon, but he's being taken down, and Happy gets the better of him. 9-6, a good half is called, and Envyus are going to be pretty happy of that going into the second half.
Yeah, now look at Envyus, man. They look just cool, calm, collected. And no stress on their side at all.
It went to plan.
Yeah, it all went according to plan. You saw just how comfortable they were setting up the plays. Once that's the beauty of how Envy are able to control the momentum and control the other team. Once they break their money, they know that Cloud9 are going to start playing scared. And Cloud9, they need to be the ones pushing on, going for those squeak pushes, going out into B halls, trying to get information, trying to figure out what Envy are setting up. But once Cloud9 start playing scared, Envy have all the space on the map to just set up and do what they want. And if you give that to them, this is what happens. They get 9 rounds on T side, and then they go into CT side well ahead.
Well, it's all going to be on this pistol round right now for Cloud9. They've got to make the most of it. Getting into this A bomb site. Happy's just ready and waiting for him. They jump through. He's going to go full back into that smoke. Spots one more, but Envyus gets the better of him. Smith, though, does open up onto Shroud. Can he get another kill? He's just ducking away. Shazam finishes off Kiyoshima, and this is a good start from Cloud9. MBK does manage to finish off Shazam right there. 3 versus 3. The bomb is down inside the A bomb site. Oh, huge shot from Shoxy there. Takes off the head of Envyus. Nothing, though, does open up onto Smith. Can he get another one here? Needs to come up huge. Oh, and MBK, huge work from him. Shoxy finishes it off. They will get the defuse comfortably, and Envyus will take that pistol round, and they'll take the scoreline to 10-6.
To 10-6, and there it is. A pistol going Envy's way. It just seems like it's been the Cloud9 show, with the pistols at least. But Envy now, it's the same thing that happened on Cobble, essentially, isn't it? I mean, that is like Envy just getting control. They get warmed up on the map, and then they start applying the pressure, and they never really let up. It's like this, just a press, it just continues to get harder and harder to deal with for Cloud9. Going into the second half now.
And we look at the stats just there, and it doesn't really give you much thought there, because Envyus, they're winning so heavily at the moment, and people still got that faith in Cloud9.
Oh yeah, they're not going to give up. I mean, Nothing after what we saw from Nothing, if he can just get his head in the game, what we saw from him versus Orbit, it's possible here at any time for him to turn it on. We need to see more from Shroud as well. Let's see now on this T side. It looks like there's going to be the single smoke going in on this A site. 2 smokes, unless that was Happy who chucked his. He likes to do that. He likes to hide back in that corner behind a smoke. That's pretty much like the thing. He knows it. He knows that people know it as well. So it turns into this kind of mind game. Am I behind that smoke or not, James?
I'm gonna wait here and wait for you to run through.
Smith with a little bit of an execution error there. He's gonna get the flash right on the second try.
Happy, though, opening up with the FAMAS, gets one. MBK onto Shroud. Smith gets one as well, and look at that from MBK. The spray comes in to finish it off, taking it to 11-6, and another clean round for Envyus.
Just very clean work, no stress, nothing like that of the sort on Envyus' side. Even going for like uncommon boosts like that. That's also Happy. He used to use that position there where he was boosted. He would just jump up against that plank. You can kind of slide up it, and you would check main that way. And it was kind of like low risk way to check main. Of course, now everybody knows it, so they're probably just going to walk in there pre-aiming. So you don't really see it that often, but that's how confident Envy are right now. They're like, okay, we'll bust out that boost and we'll just mow them down.
Now we're talking about Envyus' confidence. Let's look back at the map pool. Do you expect that they went with this choice that we were all kind of surprised of because they didn't want to show anything for potentially going to the final against NIP?
No, I don't think that. I think that right now Envy were just like, we feel 100% confident on any map. And so they kind of they won in the bans as well because they just immediately they removed the best map from Cloud9, Nuke. They're like, okay, we won't give you that. And then I think Cloud9 got forced into removing Inferno as well. It was a kind of a combination. They know that they're too good on it and Cloud9 are weak on Inferno, so they just had to go ahead and remove that map. And at that point, Envy are like, we can take you anywhere here. Yeah. It was always going to be Cloud9 having to have that underdog story, having to come like find some way to take on Envy, who are just so far ahead right now.
Oh, Kirishima here just waiting, poking out. Only 3 members left of Cloud9 right now. Does spot him. Smith's in a good position here as well, just waiting back. He's got to be careful that no one doesn't come from above and get boosted up in front of him. And look at that. Smith gets the kill. Sham nicely does, but Semphis does reply. Shroud onto MBK. This is now turned into a 2 versus 2, but Shoxy comes in to take around Semphis.
And they have the bomb now. That's the big thing here. Shoxy, he's going to be able to sit on this. Does the Bumblebee still have its sting? Takes a peek. He's kind of just buzzing around, you know, just like they can be. They can be annoying that way. And instead, now that sets it up for Kiyoshima to step out on the A site. 9 seconds left. The clock is ticking. He needs to make it up onto this site, but it's not going to happen. Shoxy just peeks out and catches him up against the wall. 12 rounds on the board now for Envy, and Cloud9 once again just not managing to get anything going for themselves when they have the rifles.
Yeah, the control that Envyus has right now is incredible. We talked about him being unstoppable throughout this tournament, and it doesn't look like it's going to be stopping anytime soon. And Cloud9, 6 rounds trailing right now. They've got to do something drastic.
That's it. You know, what are they going to have to throw at them in the next round? That's what we have to look at right now. Because they have the Tech 9s, you know, maybe a bit of a turn of speed. You see they have a flash and a smoke. There are options. They could go to the B site and just use that one smoke to smoke off CT, one flash in, and just cross your fingers and run in with the Tech 9. Because, you know, B site is a bit congested sometimes. You can get up close, go into checker, that sort of play.
Couple of good smokes could give them the defense to get in.
Exactly. Now, I mean, we just have to see if they're going to be able to find a pick, because that looks like what they're counting on right now. I mean, Semphis getting boosted up here with the Deagle.
But look at Happy right now. He's coming round. You can hear where his team are firing off. He's just looking for footsteps. And look at this. Gets the first kill. Semphis, though, did manage to get the Deagle kill onto Smiths. Happy with a second as well. And this is not what Cloud9 needed. Not at all. All up to Sean right now. And he gets taken down by Kiyoshima. Another good round from Envyus. And Semphis did work out with that pick, but it just was not enough. And Happy was, once again, just roaming the map. They had so much control. They were so confident. Pretty much get away with doing what he wanted.
It's like Envy, man. They're like it's like a wasp nest, you know. You just don't see anything, but as soon as you throw a rock at it, you better run, because they just come out of everywhere and they're gonna hunt you down, and they are relentless. That's exactly what it feels like watching Envy. It's all quiet, they're not showing anything, and then all of a sudden they're in your face, and there you go. Double spray actually coming out, but then they just come right back into it. Shoxy roasts one, shoots one, and it's looking like 14th round here for Envy, unless we can see some magic out of Shazam.
Oh, well, Shazam firing back through the smoke at Shoxy. Nicely done by him, but he's still got to deal with 2 members. It's Happy and Smiths left, and, well, he's on the back foot, but he's got plenty of time to play with.
Sam right now, he's looking in his crystal ball, wondering, and unfortunately, he probably should have held that crystal ball up, you know, just to look behind him. You know,
oh, there he is.
He sees the reflection, but it's too late. It's like every horror movie ever.
14-6 is your score. Envyus just destroying this half so far. Cloud9, they're doing everything they can, but Envyus, no matter what's thrown at them, like you said, one noise, and Envyus are like, cool, let's go, we know exactly where they are.
Swarm. And again, control mid. Smith missing a pick. That was actually kind of comical. You're just like following him, and then somehow he makes it past. But now he knows that there's a man in Toxic. He's got one of those members there. Kiyoshima just pushes through. That's actually a counter boost. That is a control mid coming out from Envy. But Semphis, he is able to catch Kiyoshima off guard. So a good return frag there. Brings it back to a 4-on-4. This situation should favor Cloud9.
Cloud9 doing it well. Look at that. Happy down, Shoxy down. Oh, nicely done by Sean onto Smiths here. It's all up to MVK in a 1 versus 4. Cloud9 should be able to secure this round unless MVK can do something magical. But Shroud finishes it off. And finally, Cloud9, they might have found an opening.
Yep, this is it. Now, this is where they need to basically draw the line and start applying the pressure. We can see, that some of these rounds have been closer than than Envy would be comfortable with because their money is so low right now. They can afford an AWP on Smith, but then it's like a scout on NBK. So a little bit light on the nades as well. Not ideal, but Cloud9 now, they've got everything they need here. Let's see the magic happen, and what a shot! What a flick from Shazam! NBK somehow dodges that, only gets out of it with 15 HP.
Now I'm wondering if he heard Kiyoshima pushing up so aggressively there as well, because that could play a key part, because he's now sat in vents, just looking towards middle.
This is something that Kiyoshima likes to do. But it's so difficult to predict as well, just where they're going to be setting up because they are so aggressive right now. Shazam doing a bit of an Anders impression right now, trying to get a shot through that wall, through that box. It's not meant to be this time around. And Envy, after the initial aggression, they start to fall back and just collect on the site. But Sempis with a great spray down takes out Happy.
That was a huge kill. He was sat in the open. Happy was just waiting, very confident. But look at this from Shoxy. Flash comes out. He gets 2. Can't get the 3rd, though. Nothing shuts him down. Shroud onto MBK. Sean does manage to get Kiyoshima. And now it's all going to be up to Smiths. He does have the AWP. But look at the health of Cloud9. This could play a major part in how the rest of this round goes. If he can get a nice nade in there or so, he might be able to pick one up off the floor and hopefully get a kill. Smoke goes down, though, to shut him out. And best situation for him is going to be the save.
Yep, best situation here. Picture perfect play for Cloud9. Get that smoke down. Do not peek. You don't need to peek. You're way ahead. They don't even need to be taking these kinds of fights right now. They could literally just be sitting there and waiting.
Cloud9 need to hang on to their weapons at all costs. They need to save some of that money. They've got the bomb down. Oh, Smith's actually missing again there. Does get 1, but nothing comes in to finish him off. 14-8 is your score, and Cloud9 now a couple more rounds on the board. Can they continue this success?
This is looking good for them now. Now they have actually forced Envy into an eco position, so it's starting to look like they're getting a bit of momentum going, the North American team. They have the money. Not quite there yet. Not quite to the point where they're going to be able to full buy if they were to lose this round, which is the real problem here. Cloud9 just, they have so little room to work with. They need to be able to full buy every single round to work their way back. It's just one round at a time. But Envy, they're going for a bit of a gamble this round, stacking up on A, crossing their fingers, hoping that Cloud9 are going to walk into them. It's actually a bit of a repeat situation. Last time Cloud9 stacked, and then Envy go the opposite side. This time around, Cloud9, unfortunately, it seems like at the beginning they had the right idea, but now they're starting to, get a little hesitant, start working towards mid to see if they can get some control.
This could be nice here for Team Envyus. They have got the upper hand, and they're just running around with the confidence of the pistols in their hands. They've gone back to that A bomb site, and they might have baited Cloud9 into it.
Exactly. They're going for the mind games. Do they follow suit? Where does the bomb go? That's the big question here. That's what we're looking for, and it looks like they have been thinking about the B side again. Man, no, but it's moving its way up short. They might just be walking into this stack after all. Envy with the plays, but Shroud and Shazam are getting the kills, and this is definitely looking like Cloud9 will come out ahead. Shoxy doing the best that he can from Squeak, and Sempis with the good position to catch out Happy. No lurking this time, Happy. Let's turn that smile upside down, please.
Cloud9 getting a few rounds on the board now, gaining some momentum, and look, we're starting to see their money just look that little bit better, and this is exactly what they needed. Once again, we'll see from Envyus and Eco Strat. We've got CZ75s and Deagles in play, and well, let's see what they can do with it this round, going for a similar setup, stacking the A bomb site, leaving one member in B. Cloud9 though taking a bit of a faster approach here, and they could be running straight into something very bad. One player jumps out, Kiyoshima gets him with the Deagle. This could be huge. He's picked up the AK as well, spams through, Smith gets one, Kiyoshima gets one as well. This is huge from Envyus. If they manage to pull this off, Cloud9 are going to be kicking themselves. Sean though fights back, Shoxy does reply. It's all up to Sempis right now. 1v4, does get one. Can he deal with the last few members alive of Envyus? He's all alone right now. MBK pushes round, baits him out of position. Happy comes from the side, and MBK gets the final kill. 15-9, and Envyus take it to match point.
And on a eco round as well. That is brutal. That's a slap in the face for Cloud9. It's so unfortunate that the bomb got dropped out where it did as well. I mean, they had committed, obviously, Cloud9. They were committed to pushing through. They just could not get past that smoke. Kiyoshima too quick with the reactions. And as soon as they figured out what was going on, it just sped out of control. But when the bomb is dropped there, there's no option for Sempis, really. He knows that he's going to walk out into a crossfire if he shows himself and tries to get it, and then the flank comes in. It's just an impossible situation, and this doesn't make it any easier. Smith finds the entry frag this round. Shazam is gone. And now it comes down to Cloud9 working some real magic here without the Genie on their side.
Oh, wow, look at that. Envyus tries to pull off the AWP shot. Couldn't quite tag him. Don't think he expected that at all there. And they're currently trailing with one man down already. Looks like Cloud9, they're not fully committed on where they want to go yet. But look at the B bomb site. Only one CT member in there currently. If they do decide to go for it, this could be their best situation for them, really.
This is very close here. Envyus is just calmly waiting. Envyus can very reliably use the AWP, and he takes out Shoxy right there. This is going back Cloud9's way. Nothing with the lurk, takes out NBK. And now Kyoshima, does he actually manage to catch him out? This is the big thing. Or is he going to walk right into it? Does he check this angle? He does, but Envyus, he's going to miss the shot.
That was very lucky from Kyoshima there. Luckily, he fell back, just dodged the bullet. Very different story right now. Sean's going to try and do the Molotovs into B and push him out of position. But look at that. Kyoshima runs straight into Envyus once again. All up to Smithson happy. And they're just going to sit in that A bomb site and save it right now. And let Cloud9 pick up another round and take this to 15 for 10. But they need to make sure they hold on to their weapons.
Exactly. They need to just stay alive. Happy already making sure that they can't get flanked from behind through the T-spawn. They already have Smith just holding that long alley through CT with that AWP. That's all he needs to do at this point. They just need to stay cool. Stay cool. But yeah, like Cloud9 right now, it's just one round at a time. But these kinds of plays are going to make it possible. This is what's going to give confidence to the team. Like I said at the beginning of this series, Cloud9, they do run a lot off of confidence. And if you smack them around early, it's so hard for them to get back into the game. But if they start to get some things going their way, all of a sudden they just look like a different team. And Envyus landing shots like that, indicative of Cloud9 starting to feel the game a little bit more here.
Yeah, we need either Shazam or Envyus this round to just get that opening kill, give them the boost, and kind of push Envyus around a little bit. But Smith has managed to hold on to his AWP. We actually see the guns are being dropped around. We've got a double AWP setup, and then M4s with Kyoshima opting for the CZ75. Envyus are heavily committed to just cleaning it out this round.
Have to be careful here, though, Shazam. He's got the edge. He's got the advantage. Smith is just waiting as well. Fairly passive hold. Going to miss that opportunity there.
This is unlike Smith. We've seen him miss a couple of shots like that right now. He's just not hitting them today.
Yeah, he is struggling a little bit, and that is going to hurt him later on if they go on to face up against Nip. But there's Happy, bringing things back under control, takes out Envyus with a good peek. He may be looking for another wallbang here if he can get it, but into A main instead. And now it's all about solid defense. Envy are in a good position. Nothing is going to find NBK holding at forklift, but then the quick rotation comes in from Shoxy on short, and they're going to be able to plug the gap fairly quickly here, Envy.
Envyus right now, they're just got to be very careful on how they position themselves. They're in a 4v4. Nothing's got the AWP in his hand, Shazam as well. And they've currently just going to be who's going to get that first pick and where are they going to take it. Looks right now for Cloud9, they're being very, very defensive, taking it to this B bomb site.
They have the Molotovs though, and this is interesting. Are they going to use these onto the B side or not? Kyoshima getting caught out. There's the leg shot. He manages to make it past, and they're just looking to force them out into the open with the Molotovs. Gets out of dodge in time. Happy missing a shot of his own and going for a counter smoke, trying to buy the time, but nothing. Catches Shoxy, who was trying to go for the flank. This has just turned out into an all-out brawl, but it's a 2-on-3, and there's just no time for Cloud9. They have 15 seconds. They have to go here. They have to commit.
Oh, huge shot from Smith. Kyoshima onto Shazam. Nothing. The last man left with 5 health, and it's all over. 16-10. Envyus close it out. 2-0, taking the Americans down and sending them home.
And there it is. I mean, the look on their faces, Happy right now is just like all in a day's work. They're just very confident right now. And I don't think that they were put under too much pressure in this semifinal. It really was going to be that underdog story of Cloud9 just trying to battle versus the Titans. Well, except the Titans aren't here, but Envy, we call them Titans. It was a real struggle, but in the end, Envy managed to pull out ahead, 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal bit of Counter-Strike there. Cloud9 pushing it back, taking it right to the limits, trying to pull themselves round by round back into it. But Envyus, they were just able to edge it out of them. They kept it so cool and calm, and it's just huge plays from them. And just they still remain unstoppable and undefeated.
Well, that's where you see the difference right now between the super top teams, basically that top 3-4, Virtus, Pro, Envy, Fnatic, Nip. I mean, that's where you have like the cream of the crop right now, and they are just dominating. And then you get into it where you can see the difference between, that top 3 and 4 and the 10. Once you start getting into the 10-16, there's such a gap there, and just confidence and play, execution, all of the different levels, and you can see it very clearly in a game like this. Cobblestone, Cash, never were Envy really forced to come up with anything new. They kind of just stuck to their game, and that was enough. Happy just with the constant lurks, shots coming in from Shoxy, just getting on fire. I mean, they all just stepped up and pretty much just shut Cloud9 out of it. There really was no contest.
And it's a great communication that we see from Envyus. Every little sound they hear, their whole position's changed. They're reacting straight away. And that's what you see the differences. We're talking about the difference in caliber between them teams. And that's what sets them apart. And, well, we're going to see now Nip taking on Envyus in the grand final. And, well, this is the battle of all battles.
Isn't this perfect, though?
Yes.
I mean, just last week, we had Katowice semifinal between these two magnificent teams, NIP and Envy. I mean, it's just such a long history between both of these teams. NIP went on to eliminate Envy at Katowice in the major. Now Envy, it's not a major, but they have a chance to rectify things.
Yep.
They're going to get some revenge. But let's go ahead and hear from the analyst desk now to wrap up this second semifinal.
Thank you very much, Banks and Semler, the GQ casting duo. Look at those guys. They're like supermodels up there,
I like the way that they've embraced that modern hipsterism where they're wearing fake glasses. Those lenses aren't really, they have perfect eyesight.
I was going to say,
They're not nerds.
supermodels in a
Not nerds,
manga
not nerds.
comic, perhaps. All
right, I'll give you that.
Case, very
Samurai, you... I can't even do it, Rich. I can't even do it.
Okay, so as predicted,
Are you...
you guys called it.
Standing by
Envyus, very dominating both games, obviously. Cloud9 started good. Hey, come on.
Okay.
Cloud9 started good.
Yeah. That game was a joke, mate.
And then...
The same thing again. They got the great start, but even then, after seeing this first one, especially, you didn't believe in it. You didn't think it was going to last. I actually feel like from knowing those guys, the Cloud9 guys, unfortunately, they are the guys who always play the what if, or it could have happened this way. That's always the game they like to play afterwards, but you can't do it in this one. This is not a case of if things were going perfectly, then they went wrong. If anything, I'd look back on those rounds and go why didn't Envyus win those rounds? Because the other rounds were all just so overwhelmingly dominant. I mean, one of the rounds towards the end there to get the map point, Envyus came in with full CZs, we're in England here, classic style of Envy when they were back in LDLC, and they were against full rifles from Cloud9, and they just easily won that round.
Yeah, I mean, and it was easy. I mean, as soon as they got the gun off the first kill, I mean, that was it. The round was over, and that's what I mean. Look, you can't be angry or upset if you're a Cloud9 fan because Cloud9 can't compete with Envyus, because head-to-head, Envyus are just superior, across the board. But when you get yourself into positions, you've got to know how to play the percentages. You've got to know how to use, leverage the odds when the things do go right for you. That's twice they got off to good starts and then just faded away. There was no adaptation of what Envyus were doing. There was no reaction. Instead, Envyus were ultimately, they could afford to give away, 4 rounds, 6 rounds, just to find out what Cloud9 were doing. Yeah. Then they could read them like a book, and that's what they did. So. It was. I mean, it's like you said here. It's very hard to even, talk about anything from an analytical perspective because ultimately it just comes down to Envyus being better in every aspect. There was some of the old problems for Cloud9. We noticed there was a couple of rounds where there was some miscommunications. I mean, Shazam for me, theirs had a terrible series, just no impact whatsoever. That's not the Shazam. I feel bad about it because I was saying when Shazam moved to Cloud9, this is a good move for Cloud9. This is a good move for him. Everybody wins. He's been he was terrible when it mattered there against the top team. Everything would have been forgotten and forgiven if he stepped up in a game of this nature against opposition of this caliber. But he whiffing his shots. It was, I don't know. Someone's just got to step up for Cloud9 and take charge in games like this, and no one does, man.
It's not even like the tactics were overwhelming from Envy, considering all the rounds they got.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They could just go to their spots on the map and just take aim duels all day long. They wanted to take a battle here, and they could literally have the luxury of taking over a site, planting, and still having the rotating guy way over the other site, waiting to kill you in the back if you come. They don't even have to go to the site with it. So this is obviously the first map, Cobblestone, which was Envy's pick.
Yeah.
And initially, things were going great for Cloud9, but then this massive roll where 9 rounds in a row in the first half, Envy won, and then Cloud9 was only able to get 2 more rounds in the next half before the game was over.
Yeah, and again, we always talk about this is very much a game of momentum, and Cloud9 had that momentum train going, and again, Envy turned their thing on, killed the momentum, took it back, and rolled.
The thing is, when it is a momentum game, you're absolutely right. It's one of the biggest cliches in Counter-Strike, but like all cliches, there's an element of truth to it, and that is, the momentum it means absolutely nothing if when it's going your way, you then don't know how to actually make it work for you. So
be the one
this is one of the. instances here where
Yeah.
you know you see Shoxy gets
The
himself.
bomb
in
is
this
down
position.
there, remember? He hasn't even
Yeah.
gone to the bomb.
Bomb is down. You're in a 1v2.
30
He's got to
something
pick it up
seconds.
and plant with 30 seconds on the clock. So first of all, you think, okay, well, this is good. You're using the cover. Now, while he's dancing around, what's the other guy
This
doing?
is where
That's what I was
he's-
talking about,
This
yeah.
is where he's supposed
Yeah.
to use comms there, Shroud, and then the other guy shoots Shoxy in the back.
Yeah.
And if you're Shoxy, you feel like, oh, I never even had a chance of that round.
Yeah.
Instead, this guy just stays hidden over there the whole time. And even at that point, there was hardly any time on the clock. Why don't you
Yeah.
make him pick up the bomb
Yeah,
and plant?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't just like one mistake there. It was like everything almost was a mistake. And systematically, like the communication wasn't there at all between the two players, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That play for me, if you wanted to like just basically, you know, say it Cloud9, if you were an outside consultant and you were coming in saying, I'm going to fix you, you just play back that clip. And like, as Duncan says, that's 5 things going wrong in like a 10-second span.
And again, you have talked about Shazam having to step up. This round, he does step up.
Yeah.
So he had some flashes of goodness. They all did, but again, flashes of goodness versus consistent greatness. You're not going to win.
This
Envyus is
series
going to beat you.
shows if anyone asked, well, how can it be this great Cloud9 team? Listen, they can win maps off top teams. They've had competitive series. Why haven't they made that big international final? Why has it never happened?
I mean,
why NA in general hasn't been able to do it? Well, this series kind of shows it because look at we're talking about one of the best European teams, not just a good one, like one of the elite world-class teams, and we've seen that they're just a level above in all the key areas.
And that highlight we just saw there with MBK picking up that 3-man, again, coordination just so off. You know, they've got time to actually look one direction, get a kill, and even though the other people are there and should be pushing and making it difficult for you, they don't push in. This is what I mean. It's a lack of excellence and execution, just really sloppy, and that it all stems down to this communication problem. And this was Smith's again locking down a site here, if I remember rightly. This was around. I can't remember. Was this the round that? This was the last round. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, this was again money not great. They had a numerical advantage there, Cloud9. Weren't able to just really force the issue, force the agenda, and push in, take that site. And it's just easy for Envyus. Like it's incredible. It's really irritating because Cloud9, they've got lots of good things that we could talk about. They've definitely got talent in that roster. And they've definitely got international experience within that roster. They definitely fly the flag pretty well for NA. But ridiculously, they just make these very amateurish mistakes, and it always seems to happen against the top teams. And I don't know why, and I don't know how. I don't know how you stop that. Whether it is a change in leadership, or you need to have a change in roster, or maybe you get a coach in, someone that can be a bit more forceful, stood behind them, and actually, perhaps the leadership comes off the server. I don't know, but Cloud9 need to realistically think about something before they make this move to Europe.
Yeah, and again, because that is going to be a crucial assist to them. But is it this roster? Is there a change in that roster? Because they're going to do it. It sounds like I talked to Sean again last night about, I'm like, this Europe thing, is for real? And he's like, absolutely. But again, do they have to bring, does someone have to go and someone else new come in before they make the move? Good point. Let's shift gears. We're not going to necessarily talk about it too much after the break, so I want to talk about it now. We got some time. Obviously, Cloud9 loses to Envyus, but they drop down to Virtus Pro for the 3rd and 4th place match. So again, we don't know the maps, and for those at home, there are 2 streams going, so Gfinity TV 2 is going to bring you that 3rd and 4th place match. So let's just talk about it a little bit. These teams have clashed together in CSGO several times, so let's just shoot the shit about this matchup. Because we don't know maps, so we can't really...
Yeah. Well, the one we saw in the group stage obviously was defined by like the first map, Cloud9 so convincing, then just Virtus Pro all the way. Even starting as Terrorist on Nuke, 10 T rounds, and then from there on the series was just theirs entirely. And so overall, thinking of what we saw yesterday in that series, and then how well Virtus Pro did play against NIP, I feel like it has to be another repeat performance of Virtus. If anything, probably more dominant. Like I see them winning this particular matchup.
This is where it gets interesting for Cloud9. Now, first of all, we've talked about when was the last time they got out of the groups. In an event like this, we're talking about going back away. Now they've got that monkey off the back. Okay, they're out of the groups. Yep. Now, for me, I think Cloud9 realistically need to take a 3rd place here and say, hey, we got 3rd, guys. It's one of those ones where it looks good. It's like having a crap job, but it looks good on your CV for the experience.
Top 3 three. Top three.
Top three. We finished third, right?
Yeah.
We're bronze medalists. We were on the podium. And I think
Gfinity love it when you say that finishing third's like a crap job.
No,
on the
you know what I mean. Who's happy with third place?
Yeah, who remembers the bronze medalist?
People who
right?
couldn't
Yeah.
finish
Yeah.
top two.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, for real though.
Yeah, obviously.
The bronze medal's always actually highly contested for that reason because you're not good enough to win.
Exactly, and that's you agreeing with my point exactly. You know, I think Cloud9 need that for almost for like the confidence boost or to sort of justify. It wouldn't tell the full story of their tournament whatsoever. Now, what's interesting is Virtus Pro, you know what Virtus Pro are like. I mean, now that they've not made the final, I just think there probably is going to be a little bit on tilt, like, already internalizing. Because they should have won. They should have beat NIP. They were at 10 rounds as T on Inferno. They should have beat NIP. They should be thinking about a final right now. And I'm just wondering if they're going into the old ways where Virtus Pro start looking at who made the individual mistakes, arguing, bickering. Oh, well, actually, let's blame the event. Let's say there wasn't enough space in the booze, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset going into third place. So actually, psychologically speaking, I think Cloud9, if they can do what they did yesterday and galvanize, they could potentially beat Virtus Pro. They took a map off them yesterday. There's signs and hopes there, especially if a very weak-willed Virtus Pro, a lackadaisical Virtus Pro show up.
No, I don't think Cloud9, it's impossible they can win. I would still favour Virtus Pro. I do agree with the comment that in theory, who should be more up for the game? It should be Cloud9.
Absolutely, yeah.
The bigger issue, I think, for Cloud9 would be, okay, even if they finish fourth, it's still top four, etc. But if someone says, yeah, but at that event, didn't you lose twice to a team that had a stand-in? That never sounds good, no matter. Even if it was the best team in the world, if they have a stand-in, that should give you at least some parity there. If you're wanting to consider yourself world class, and from what we've seen so far, they can't really consider themselves world class. They've been good. In fact, for a European level, they've been solid. They've been in the upper end, but they're not close to the Envyus and the Nips. These teams in the world, unfortunately.
Want to predict it?
Because it is a
Without
third place
map,
game,
without
I
the
don't
maps, yeah.
think it's going to be. I don't really see Virtus Pro just smashing it completely. I'll say 2-1 Virtus Pro.
I could maybe see Cloud9 getting a map. I'm sort of leaning towards Duncan's line of thinking. Like, even though I'm making the point that I think if Virtus Pro have already gone into themselves and are thinking, let's just get to the after party a little bit because, they're not happy with the way things have gone and we've got to stand in. And there's so many excuses that they can almost use to sort of justify the performance. So maybe they don't care about the game. But equally... they're a class act, and they've got more talent in the roster than Cloud9 have. So I got to lean towards Virtus Pro just from a very dry, drab, analytical standpoint. I think everything points to Virtus Pro being able to win it. I'll say just to slightly differ, even though I do agree. I think 2-1's right. I'll say 2-0.
Well, all right. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to take a short break, folks. When we come back, we're going to start breaking down the grand final. It is the classic Envyus versus NIP. Number 3 team in the world, number 4 team in the world. 2 and 3.
Yeah.
2 and 3. 4 is now going to play. So Virtus Pro. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes.